3, 2, 1, go! Excellent, sexy. Hope everyone's excited for another episode of WarHams. There you go.
Noise.
Hey.
I had to pause for a moment and be like, oh God, did they not get the memo? The chaos screeches were not here at the moment's notice, but it was a slight delay because that is the magic of the internet. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Warhammer, or pretty much WarHams, where we play the Warhammer 40k tabletop RPG Wrath in Glory. We've been having a really fun time with it so far. It's episode 6, everybody. We finally made it.
Yeah.
We finally passed the first 5 episodes. All the little infrastructure changes have now transferred over. And we just like to say, really for all of us, we'd like to say thank you all so much for the support. Episode 6 would not even exist without the support of everyone, and everyone showing up for the streams, telling their discords that we're live, telling everyone that we exist, everything else, also supporting us also on the podcast versions as well. Everything's been amazing so far. So we are super excited to have you all here. So, of course, it's not just me running the show. This is a group effort. Everyone who works on this pretty much is bringing the show to you. And I would like to introduce all of them today, our motley crew. The first one who is playing our Skitarii Ranger today is...
Speaker D. I am the lead writer and one of the many voice actors for TTS. And I play Braine.
And next up, our inquisitorial acolyte is played by...
Earndil, and I am also the lead writer, right next to shoulder with speaker, and I am also a voice actor on the show, and I am also evil, and I am playing Reeb Van Horn.
And the captain, our rogue trader of the debt collector, is played by...
HulkyKrow, resident spicy food enthusiast, and also voice actor for The Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech device.
And the one leading us to our doom is our illustrious game master who goes by...
Oh, hello there. My name's Thurston. I'm the on-call GM, and I'm the GM for this game. I mean, hi, my name's Thurston. I'm the GM, and I look forward to torturing our players. And you're all in for a great episode, because I've been super excited for this episode since the show started. That's all.
And I am ZoranTheBear. I played Lorn, who is the sanctioned psyker. And you all, those of you who are watching us live on Twitch, will notice that we have a nice little overlay here. So there's several things on how this works, especially for people who are new to WarHams. One of the things that we do is a kind of donation-based system for all the dice that we use. Because Wrath and Glory uses these different types of dice to where we have these commissioned and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to turn this off. You'll see at the bottom left that there's these gold style dice. These are called glory die. At the beginning of every single one of our sessions, we start with 0. And you are able to contribute to the stream and kind of help influence the game, help us out a little bit, because these help out the players. These allow us to make better on our rolls, pretty much increase the chance of success with these, or to add a lot more damage to them. So you're able to donate for these dice. Basically, there'll be a link either going through the chat box in chat, or if you go to the info tab on mobile or scroll down, you'll see a big old donate section or whatever explaining what all of these dice do. Additionally, on the bottom right, we have the ruin die. These are for the game master, where he is able to ruin us all, and he starts out with 4 because that's how they like to balance and ruin us in this game. Additionally, we also have a thing under each and single one of our character portraits here. You'll see our rings glow up as each of us talk. You'll see those are wrath die. They allow us, similar if you played any Warhammer 40k tabletop with D6s, any failed D6s that did not succeed during our skill checks or attack rolls, etc. We're able to re-roll those failed die to hopefully get a bigger chance of success, because this game is run on a D6 system. And with all of your contributions and stuff, we can hopefully survive, or Game Master Corona us all. And then speaking of our Game Master, Thirsty, you have any other words to say, and what adventure do you have for us today?
Real quick, as usual, just rules stuff comes out, please call us out on it. One rules thing that I have got some answers to from last session relates to Lorn's new psychic power, Molten Beam. We had some confusion on that. It is basically a line effect, so there's no explosion element. It just shoots in a line and kills everything in a line. So that's how we're going to be playing it. I suspect that'll be fixed in the Wrath and Glory rules pretty soon, but that's how we're going to run with it. So one little update from last session. Second quick thing, experience. We're holding off on handing out experience until the end of this arc, so nothing new on the characters just yet, but generally after every kind of arc of episodes, I'm going to load them up with experience so they can get cool new abilities. Aside from that, yeah, I think we're good to go for this session, session 6. With a little quick recap on last session, just to bring everyone up to speed in case you missed us on last episode. Our great PCs met with their immediate superior, Katja Van Nord, where they received their debriefing after a tense hug-off, and they were provided with ample points for their efforts as part of the ongoing crusade that they are part of. They were then tasked with traveling to the world of Scargeris Prime to determine the exact tithe the world would be providing, considering the world hasn't been providing tithe for almost 10,000 years. After arriving in system, our heroes traveled to Hive Zarkanon, where they met with one Amalthea Rubania and learned about the planet's history and a bit of information over dinner. Following that, they were taken to an apartment to rest up, where they were accosted by a group of aberrant humans called Bloodback who ambushed them. Our heroes fended off the Bloodback, confronted Amalthea about what was going on the planet and that they needed the tithe for the crusade. And Amalthea said, "Oh, haven't quite got any resources left, but we have this cool robot outpost thing in our lower hives, which the PCs rushed to find." And after a quick negotiation with one of the Underhive gangs, they managed to find out that the facility they entered was a Mechanicum listening post that was connected still to an outpost of the Mechanicum on the nearby moon. So, as we start our adventure, the players are having a quick briefing on board the debt collector, having returned in orbit over Scargeris Prime, where I believe we are cutting straight into a meeting in the Strategium private room, where Braine is demanding that the rest of them immediately head to the moon to investigate, giving its importance. I'll take it away, Pi.
Yes, friends, the people. We are gathered here today to discuss the current revolutionary discovery we have discovered on this place's moon. As you know, the planet below us is awful and...
Lorn raises a hand.
Yes, Lord.
If it's revolutionary, does it revolve? Does it like turn because it's revolutionary?
Oh, yes, moons do spin because the Omnissiah wills it, as it wills all things.
Okay. I have a notepad out and I'm taking notes.
Now then, on this moon lies a Mechanicum outpost, one likely littered with Dark Age technology. These are things, not Dark Age, but Dark Age compared to us. Shut up. Anyway, the point is, once we arrive there, we may gain enough for the quest of knowledge to be venerated in the history of the Martian priesthood for centuries, millennia to come. So we should go ahead and do that right quick. Okay, any discussions, any problems, any questions, quandaries?
Zedek raises a hand.
Zedek.
You keep mentioning the Martian priesthood. You think that maybe the Imperium at large might benefit from whatever's up on that equally forsaken moon?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, sure. But the important thing is the quest for knowledge.
I am admittedly eager to find out exactly what is going on and why there are some... I'm still trying to figure out what exactly the ones below meant by golems, specifically these blood wolves. Perhaps this could elucidate some things, as the Mechanicus is more likely to keep track of things better than backwoods blood rubes and yokels and everything else down there.
Yes, they were all very stinky, loud, smelly, and bad. But machines are pure. If there's even a single surviving tech priest up on that moon, I am I am compelled by my duty to Lemuria to find them.
Well, we should probably check our stores for void suits, and suppose we should embark. I'm of like mind that we should never talk to these horrid people down below again, at least until we don't have to.
It's an awful waste that all of that good technology falls into the hands of people that are... Lorn, give me a word.
Adequate for the high technological availability that is purveying deep behind the door.
That is the wrong word and confusing. The point is, the less time we have to spend on that purple rock, the better. We have a much better rock to spend our time on.
Sir! Lieutenant Ransom appears suddenly behind Captain Zedek, seeming as though he was always in the room, but just
Yelling
off
loudly in
camera.
our ears.
Startle me, Ransom.
I've just come to let you know that the Harvest Lighter is prepared and ready. We have taken all of the void suits and placed them on board in case they are required for your mission, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ransom. Mind you, how many Harvest Lighters do we still have left? I know we kind of lost one. It was one, right? I don't think we can afford another one right now.
I will have to check, sir. I believe they are plot important, thus there's only a certain number of them equal to the amount of plot on this ship.
Yeah, it's plot armor. Terrible side effect of being a protagonist.
Right.
What in the bloody hell are you talking about?
Oh,
Nothing.
three, I apologize. There are three left.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Have a debrief on what exactly plot is on my bedside sometime in between now and when we don't die.
Oh, that's right, sir. I also have the other report you've requested.
And Ransom pulls out a small data slate and presses a few buttons, which causes the hololithic display in the central table to light up, and all of you are suddenly assaulted with these vid record images of hololithic reproduction of a scene on the ship. And what you see is this small rattling child playing with blocks, assembling them into some sort of little tower before they all collapse. And then in the background is a servitor standing there with a shirt that just reads "Dad" on it.
Oh, now that's just precious. That's really good.
He's just recreating the fall of his own society.
I know.
And then the hololithic
By the
display cuts
Emperor.
out.
I can't say the other words because they don't exist in this lore, but good. What's slang for heavens?
Reeb's gonna try to get Ransom's attention here real quick.
Yes?
Could you tell me, Lieutenant, has there been any communication with our esteemed overseer, Miss Katya Van Nord?
No, the Magnamorum Victorium is set to arrive within the next couple of days. We're not sure exactly when they'll translate in system.
No long band, anything? Nothing? Okay, well, that's good then.
No, the Astropath Winnicrevette is in the process of translating a different message which has come further afield, closer to the Ghoul stars, but nothing new.
I can only guess of who that one's from, but that's fine. Let Winnick do what he pleases.
He requests that you find any additional weapons in order to help clarify the message.
Yes, more guns makes more message faster, clearer. Wonderful. We'll try and take whatever terrible things they have on the planet.
They're not terrible! And I put my hands around Zedek's throat and I start strangling him. They're not terrible! Take it back!
Hey, back off!
All right,
Get your
fine.
hands off me, you aggressive automata!
Sorry, I'm under a lot of stress right now.
And at the words of "I'm under a lot of stress right now," we do a George Lucas sideways fade to all of you on the Arvis having shot out of the debt collector.
Is it
with
CG
you, like,
and not a model?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like
Okay.
it's the exact same Arvis you've been on, but it's entirely CG now.
I'm surprised you could afford that.
High is just shaking in place under even more stress now as you hit some kind of atmospheric turbulence, entering into the unnamed moon over Scargeris Prime. Your servitor pilot, one Vezin Neptune, is currently blathering off further reports for the debt collector.
We're just starting to tune those out now, huh?
Yeah, you get used to it. You get used to it.
Oh, by
It's
the
like-
way, I would like to point out the mild Freudian slip that Zedek, aka Hulky, had. You called him Lieutenant Handsome.
Good.
Oh, man. I really
Good.
can't handle my liquor
Internet,
after all.
do your thing with that.
No, don't do that. Do not.
It's like, am I the only one who heard that?
Moon. Zedek!
So the Arvis is making its way through the atmosphere, heading towards the moon and the coordinates you have.
Zedek, I gotta tell you something.
What, Braine?
Are you still mad about that strangling you thing?
A little. You kind of crushed my windpipe a little bit. I'm glad I can breathe, but I'm sure I'll get
fine.
over it.
Yeah, me
You
too.
realize
Anyway,
I'll have to fix that later, yes?
Please. Well, maybe.
what I wanted to talk to you about is this moon better not get out to that reprobate Camus. This is an adventure begun by Forgeworth Lemuria. Camus would likely try to take credit for her horrible forge world on Gaia.
Reeb's gonna lean forward with his head on his fist. You do realize that she's likely recording everything through the various things that are connected to her, yes, such as the servitor who is belching out the information, possibly whatever visual items that are on the Arvis lighter. You do realize
Augers detecting installation at provided coordinates.
I
Precisely.
lean over and hey, servitor, which one are you again?
Vesa Neptune.
All right, cool. Do you have a volume button?
Yes.
I do the volume knob and just so he can no longer just casually turn it and sit back down, going, "See, problem solved."
Augers also detect.
Wait, what are they detecting?
Wait, no, turn it back up. Turn it back up.
Now
Missed the
you've done it.
score.
At location grid 389 by 245 by 445.
Yeah. Where's that?
I don't know what he's talking about. Braine.
Do you have, might I make some kind of tech check?
No, this is not a tech check. This would be a piloting check to note the coordinates.
I can do
Zedek.
those. I'll make a pilot check because that's what my character's supposed to be good at.
Yeah.
What do you mean supposed to be?
It's
What do you
theoretically
mean
still.
supposed
Just
to be,
like-
Mr. Complicated?
All right. So Captain Zedek, with a total of 6 and a complication, but with a total of 6, you are able to successfully identify where this location is. Now, the complication is it's a little off the path you're taking,
Mhm.
but the augurs have very clearly detected something. So you'd have to go out of your way from where the installation is to this other area to see what it's detecting.
Okay.
But it looks like the augurs are detecting some kind of strange variance on the surface.
Well, I suppose we could check that out later. It is off the beaten path, so if we're
It's
up
not
for a little-
super far off the beaten path. Like we're talking like a 5-10 minute diversion from your incoming trajectory.
Oh, that's nothing. We made a planet almost fall in less than a day. We can certainly do that.
Yes. Very well, we will investigate this, but I want Gamu to hear this, and I point at the servitor.
Oh, I'm sure she will.
Its mouth is open, partly drooling.
This is a Lemurian operation. Your assistance will be noted, and proper glories will be given to you and your forge world for any assistance rendered. But I want you to understand, this is the operation of a Lemurian tech priest, not a Skitarius, an explorator. And God I am one of those!
You may wish to wait for the self-congratulations until we can actually see the facility.
Its drooling mouth opens up to make another statement. This servitor unit is unable to pilot off arranged flight plan. Manual pilot will be required.
Capitan!
Do we go now or do we go later, boys?
We go now.
May as well see what it is now.
All right, Captain Zedek, if you want to give me a second piloting check to just actually make your way to that location, now would be the time.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, totally.
Man,
Another complication and a 4. I like this. All right, so
Oh boy.
Captain Zedek, you are going to make your way in that area. I'm going to say this is a success with a 4, but it's a complication. I will get to what the complication is in a sec. But for now, what you're able to do is move across this cratered lunar surface to a section where all of you can kind of see it from looking through the cockpit. There's debris strewn about several of the craters over a fairly long area, but they're smaller chunks of debris. They look to be different form of painted metals and ceramics.
Reeb's gonna look out the window and just kind of turn back to Pi. Forge World Lemuria, eh?
Yeah, what about it?
I'm gonna continue looking out the window at the scattered debris.
This isn't Forge World Lemuria, you dunce!
Yes,
This
but
is
it is. You claimed it was of Lemurian quality.
No, I said it was a Lemurian operation, as in my
Zedek would
operation.
turn his head around and shout back, "Hey, Braine, does any of this look familiar to you? All this Mechanicus ruin?"
Give me a second, I'm gonna take a look. I'm going to, I guess, can we get out of the Arvis lander at this point?
I mean, if you all have your void suits on, which I assume you would, you could land. Now, this is where the complication comes.
Oh yes.
Zedek, you are going to be able to land. However, there's going to be a piece of debris that's in your path as you land. And so you're going to have to make an emergency, basically pulling the e-brake at the last minute to not hit this thing, which won't have any damaging effects to the ship because you'll successfully pull it off. But the complication is provided by one of our patrons, Mako GT, which is just entitled, "And that is when I ripped my pants." And so as you hit the e-brake, there's this tearing as you rip the pants inside your void suit.
I am incandescent right now.
Excellent. There's this tearing sound, and only you can hear it from inside your void suit.
Suffer one wound.
Emotional cringe.
You're gonna have to soak that shit.
Thurston, if I may, a
Yes?
shock, please.
Yeah. I will a shock. For Zedek, that is a shock.
I will add a shock to my stash.
Good. This is good.
If you could see the bare metal of my light power armor, you would just think Gutsman's ass.
and then
That's a Dana
and then
reference.
you land the Arvis, and you can exit. The rear hatch opens to this vacuum lunar surface. And you see these pieces of metal debris strewn about. They seem to be either charred dark steel metal, though some of them have this almost sea green texture to them, like kind of like a foamy teal look to them.
Interesting. Can I make some kind of tech check to understand what these are? What broke them? If there's any burns or anything along those lines?
Yeah, you can give me a tech check to try to identify these as you go out and sort of examine them.
Okay, I'm gonna drop 2 glory on this, so that's all right.
It's fine by me.
Based. So I will go and I will roll examining all of these things.
Oh my god! And another complication.
And I get 4 dice and a complication. I'm sorry.
I'm just scared for when I roll.
Good.
Reeb, are you sure you didn't surgically take our luck away?
Damn. I'm terrified. Dude, every roll this session is with a complication.
It has. I kind of
All 3 rolls have been complications.
I'm pretty okay with this. All right, so with a 4, that's enough to succeed. What you notice is that these are the fragments of a void craft. Specifically, these are a common naval strike fighter, a Fury class interceptor. The sea green coloration on it, something you're not entirely familiar with, but as you sort of look around, you can tell that these are older models, not the current Fury class interceptors that are active in the Imperial Navy, but they're very old. You can't tell the exact age without having like a full Auspex sweep of these, but you could tell they're older model, at least a couple centuries, if not far older.
Oh, this is a crashed Fury interceptor. Is there any sign of what blew it out of the sky?
So you're kind of like getting closer to it and examining it. Yeah, this is where the complication is going to come into effect. And this complication is going to be a bit of a doozy, I think, because not everything is easy. I'm going to use one of our other ones from Anonymous, spelt with various O's and 3s. Can you give me a conviction test, please, as you approach?
Sure. What's the worst that could happen?
We all die.
Complicate again.
Oh, wouldn't that be exciting?
There it goes.
Yeah, there it goes.
Oh, well,
That
never
was just
mind.
a failure.
Oh, we don't
Even
know.
worse.
We don't know. We don't know.
Okay. So you go to investigate this and like try to figure out just by looking at the hull, but you feel Pi just the most agonizing dark touch of some tortured machine spirit that temporarily gets into your systems, and you have this actual like immediate recoil as you go and like perform your close inspection of this debris, and this tortured remains of this fighter craft feels like it's screaming at you, and you back up, but this whole event has changed you. You've seen something you've never seen in any kind of machine you've dealt with, and in fact you're going to gain 1 point of corruption for this.
Oh,
It's finally here.
the first point of corruption.
Yeah.
To further elucidate this, as though that was not enough for me to understand exactly what this is, Reeb wants to see if he can find the cockpit. Unless that's
Okay.
smashed under a ton of rubble.
You could tell that like there wouldn't be a cockpit that's left here. These are like plates that have just flown off. Like this thing, and Reeb can tell this from taking his time. This was a fighter craft that was shot down and then hit the side of a crater and then spread its debris out over the entire area.
Can I do what would be appropriate, like an investigation to try and pinpoint the path that it took?
Absolutely. If you want to do like an investigation to sort of look around the crater, is that kind of what you're?
I'm kind of trying to see where the drag is, like where it splashed and where it spun out, and where this little chunk landed, and possibly where the head landed.
Yeah, totally.
I want to find the pilot.
Absolutely. Ooh.
5.
Nice.
Yeah. You can tell that there's not enough left. Like there's chunks that have fused, there's chunks that have floated off. Though this is a vacuum, there's still a very light atmospheric envelope here. What you do find, and probably the most notable thing, as sort of Pi is having his moment off to the side, reacting to this malicious, lingering smell of a dark machine spirit, you find a helmet And it's a helmet that you saw previously. It looks like the same type of helmet that you saw when you were at Hives Arcanon, that sort of larger carapace armor that has that diving suit appearance. But it's, instead of being like a white, it's the same kind of like tealish sea green, though charred in like one side of it.
I give it a vigorous shake to see if anything falls out. Like a head or a skull.
Yeah. You know, that's a good point. And I will get you to give me a willpower test.
Terrific. Attributes. And I would like to add a... Will's not great. I'd like to add... Can I add 2 glories to that? Or these are our wrath die, right?
Wrath is the reroll, glory is the add to it.
Yeah, can I use 2 glories so I also possibly don't get a corruption?
Yeah, we're full up on glory, so use as many as you'd like.
Yeah, I should have used my conviction check.
I will add 3 to that, please.
Cool. Do it up.
Make it happen.
Terrific. A corruption and complete failure.
You wanna use a wrath die to reroll
Yeah,
that?
please.
Reroll? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna knock down 1 wrath off of my, and wrath does not reset between, or I forgot.
No. It'll reset if people purchase you more, but otherwise.
Okay, so I am at 0 wrath now.
No, you start with 2, so you'll be
okay.
at 1.
So I'm at 1.
Yeah.
Bingo. Also, I got 2, but it still
2.
keeps the.
It still keeps the corruption, or the complication, I should say. Yeah. So you shake it, and what happens is as you shake it, this head comes lolling out its mouth in this sort of like rictus scream, but that's not what frightens you. What frightens you is the sudden pressure around your ankle that causes you to react and stumble backwards. And as you stumble backwards, you see this arm like reaching out from the ground that you didn't notice was there. It's not moving or anything, but it almost felt like it was around your ankle, but it's just there. These sort of connecting points of the armor have broken off, and you can just see these skeletal fingers reaching out.
Quick question.
Yes.
What is Reeb's willpower?
Reeb's willpower is 3.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you didn't
and
roll
you
your
spent a
glory
bunch
die.
of glory. You did not add your glory die.
I added the dice to it. Why didn't it do that?
Didn't seem to get it there. Roll 3d6.
Yeah, just 3d6 there. So I looked at your thing and I was like, that should have your stuff in it.
Perplexing.
Yeah,
you got like,
you fail.
You did nothing. So.
It's okay.
Yeah, I was like, why is it only rolling 3? But like, I put in the extra 3. Maybe it should.
Regardless, that just spooks you out for like, very unnerving. But nothing else seems to happen.
We must destroy this place.
So
This particular fight.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt that. My bad.
This place. This thing is evil. This thing is in incredible suffering. The machine's spirit calls out in agony. The only responsible thing to do is to allow it to return to the motive force and hope that the main installation is not so corrupted.
GM, the reason I wanted to try and shake the head out the helmet is because I wanted to look at the head.
Yeah, you've still got it. Like you're still holding on to it. The hand is what sort of startled you back, but you've got the head.
Can I? Okay, Nessa. Now I'm going to continue. Can I do a Medicae to see if this is a normal person or something? I mean, obviously
you don't even need to make a Medicae check for this. It's a normal like human head. It's got like it's what you would traditionally associate with like naval officers. Has kind of the handlebar mustache. The only thing that's off is just the sort of screaming leer on it.
Has an old head too.
And you received back your wrath, Reeb.
Ah, good. It is back. After I already shattered myself.
DM.
Yes.
Is this so we're at the cockpit. Is there any possibility of getting power back on?
No. Sorry. Like he found the head. There wasn't a cockpit left. This thing is smashed just into pieces. Reeb spent his investigation looking around this crater and essentially found like the remains of the corpse that were hurled out. But there's nothing left. Like what you felt, Pi, is like the last gasps of a machine spirit, like holding on here, but not actually animate in any way.
The ship is fucked harder than my investments, essentially.
Basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Perhaps
But aside from that, you can tell there's nothing else of interest in the crater. You get the impression that there were 2 such fighters that made similar crashes in the area.
Perhaps I should have tempered my expectations. Nevertheless, we will persevere and hope for the best.
Should we check out the other craft, or do we just want to leave this place? It's kind of a graveyard.
So there is another craft?
The other craft is in the same area. Like, I can tell you now, it's the same type of investigation, just no body for that one.
Yes, let us investigate that one. Perhaps evidence of a conflict could be utilized to better understand the situation at the Mechanicum compound.
The compound, then.
Yeah. You quickly investigate both sites of wreckage. You quickly discover that, these were shot down or crashed by some malfunction. You're not sure which. The wreckage is too badly damaged to tell, but you're able to tell that there were 2 Fury interceptors that crashed on the surface here. One of them had a particularly tortured machine spirit. But with that, the second one does not. The second one is completely inert. That one took the brunt of the damage. That's also why there's no corpse left. With all of that, you get back in the Arvis, and Captain Zedek, I assume you're going to take yourselves back on course towards the outpost.
You've got it.
Give me one more piloting check, please. I know I'm going to regret asking this, but
I'm going to regret doing this check for you.
perfect.
And another
my God.
Holy dog shit.
You kids. Okay.
We're gonna die.
We're gonna die, boys.
So you take control. The automated servitor is not able to the automated servitor here is not able to take control. Because you're on new coordinates, you're coming in from a new vector. It's not programmed for any of this. So Zedek, you take control. Luckily, a 3 is enough to succeed. And you find yourself
Zedek,
piloting.
would you like to spin a wrath?
He succeeds.
He succeeded.
Oh,
He
okay,
won't
okay,
save
my
you,
bad,
and
my
you
bad.
can't wrath the complication away. So when you roll the complication, it just happens.
No,
Get
it wasn't
wrecked.
that. Sorry, I was dealing
Okay.
with the thing and came back late. My bad.
You're good. So you are able to bring the Arvis down to the facility. Now, the complication is that you moments too late notice the presence of an active void shield, that essentially this complex is built into the side of like a cliff face. And then there's just a hole that's a big hangar area, and that hole is protected by a void shield, which you can fly into, assuming you're at like very, very slow speeds, but you don't notice it right away. Now, you're also not like careening straight towards it at full speed, because that would end you up in a cliff. But you know enough about interactions with void shields and high speed moving targets that you have to kind of hit the brakes in a very, very powerful maneuver, which you do. But what that does is it burns out some of the energy cells on the Arvis, meaning it's going to take a bit of time for the Arvis to recharge so you can leave.
Oh,
That's
shit!
the complication.
I'm okay.
But all of you are jerked around inside the Arvis, and suddenly you come to a stop, and you've got these like dull lumen lights that start sputtering on around you in this immense hangar area.
Zedek, great flying!
I didn't know there was a void shield there. I'm sorry.
I wasn't being sarcastic. I'm just very stressed.
It's hard to tell sometimes. Okay.
I
where am I?
know.
Is that any worse?
You avoid shield.
What?
I'm being genuinely curious here. I'm no pilot. Can we not see a void shield when we're about to impact it?
Zedek was
GM,
likely just...
GM, I don't actually know if that's true. That's the extent of my knowledge. Can I make a scholar check, or would that be pilot?
Okay.
Just
You-
over it.
What exactly are you wanting to know?
Would I be able to tell if there's a void shield active visually before we approached it? Or would it be just invisible, not until
We need to
somebody hits
know the extent of Zedek's fuck up.
That'd be a tech check.
Okay. Oh boy. You know, I feel my ears are burning. I can feel a corruption coming.
Okay.
Roll a
okay.
complication. Let's
And don't wing it. Oh, that's not bad.
Ah, finally.
That's a
not
4.
complication.
Is it enough?
It's a 4, and it's not a complication. Like it's enough for you to tell. Like you saved the shuttle from basically imminent disaster.
But what Zedek wanted to know is if void shields can usually be seen.
They can through ripples in this type of atmosphere. Like it's very difficult to perceive them. So the fact you saw it when you did and realized it was active was still a miracle.
Oh, thankfully, I
because
don't
you were
look like
looking
even
at
more
your
of an
damn
asshole than I
phone.
am.
It's very clear that Zedek is simply stressed like I am. He too is blessed by the Omnissiah.
Zedek,
and it is clear.
You also notice that there's an atmosphere in this hangar, and the void shield's keeping it in.
Oh, we can actually breathe in here. You can take off your suits if you want. It's thin, but it should be fine.
Go on. I help.
Sure,
I'm not
why
going to take mine off because I am concerned about the integrity of the atmosphere and totally about nothing else.
Okay.
Praise the Omnissiah, Braine says, taking off nothing. Because he's not wearing one.
Because he doesn't need a void suit.
Yeah.
It's just there.
I at least take off my helmet, but keep the helmet, like strap it on my back or something.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so as you guys manage to unpack it and come out, you see yourself in this immense hangar. There is one other vessel that is here. It looks to be a larger fighter with sort of backswept wings that is landed with a bit of a like slate gray motif to it.
I walk up to it.
Okay.
I start walking around it. Like, is there like a way, like an entrance or anything else like that?
It looks like there's an open cockpit, but you'd have to be pretty dexterous to jump up to it.
I mean, this would be like a ladder to get up to it. I assume
Doesn't look like
does it
there's a
look
ladder.
recent? Does it look recent at all? Like someone recently flew this in here.
You can tell there's like a thin particulate of dust on it. Like it has dust on it. You're not sure how much dust would accumulate in this place, but it's not completely recent.
Braine, I need your help on this one. Since you're the text
Yes.
expert, look at the engines of this thing and tell me if you can tell by, I don't know, sniffing the suit or something, that this thing has been recently used or not.
Yes, indeed, I shall.
And I'm going to
Check.
begin just kind of climbing around it. I've got my combi tool in my
General
hand.
Grievous skitter around.
And, skidding around it like a spider. I'll be dropping 2 glory on this one as well.
Cool.
Aye.
Good. Let us see what you found.
And we're going to see what my expert research
And there it
has
is.
achieved for our complication.
What is it with this episode? Good lord, the complications are
I took all of our glory last time on Medicaid checks.
Yeah. A 3 is not enough to successfully identify this. You're
Alright
looking
then.
for a tech check. Would you like to spend a wrath?
I would love nothing more than to wrap this.
Ooh.
1 extra success.
You don't know. This is a type of fighter craft you've never seen before.
I mean, that's not what he's doing it for. He's trying to see if it's been recently used.
Yeah.
Checking the engines wasn't reasonably high.
The tech check. The tech check here would be to identify it, to understand what it is. Which he has no idea what type of fighter craft this is. And when he goes around to check things he would associate with use, he can tell it's been inactive for a while. But the atmosphere here is very difficult to tell. There's an atmosphere in here, but there's also, it doesn't seem like there's been much happening here. So undisturbed atmosphere doesn't really do much, and it looks like there's some air circulation in here, but it's very minimal, not enough to disturb anything. So this has been almost preserved.
It seems that we have mysteries upon mysteries ahead of us. We must proceed with caution.
I found this weird stone, by the way. It looked like it has a fit. Here you go, and I handed the Braine, and he was like, "You got your wrath back." And additionally, I was like, "Well, I was going to make sure no one else was here that we were not aware of, and I was about to blow up their escape plan."
No, do not destroy this.
Welcome to here. Welcome to here. Welcome to here. Welcome to here. You hear this voice coming from behind the fighter, and Braine, as you're doing your path around it and Lorn comes up to provide you this magical rock, you see, and this is part of your complication, built into the wall near one of the exit doors here that's sealed shut is the upper half of a human torso, this emaciated, gray-skinned human torso with its arms also adhered to the wall and its mouth leering forward with this immense vox grill coming with it. It looks like this piece of artwork here, except it's built into the wall.
Huh.
Oh, dear.
Walvator.
Make a U-turn.
The Cervichoir.
I'm going to approach this servitor, but I fear no machine.
I walk up to it as well, curious.
I'm going.
Okay, Zedek and Reeb.
Oh, we'll follow.
I'm going to keep distance, but I'm going to approach with them just in case something stupid happens.
All right, so Reeb is kind of staying back, but the other three of you are all sort of advancing up. Perfect.
Where is here, servitor?
It looks at you with dead eyes.
Good talk. Functionality?
Lorn looks up at it. Operator! One! Damn it. Right, that didn't work either.
Vocal commands not recognized. Vocal commands not recognized.
Zedek will tap the screen and see if it lights up.
All
And
right. Fine.
as you tap it, you see that it's got this display on it that's displaying the sort of rise of its voice and sort of the rhythm and tone of its voice.
Fine, I'll do it. And I look up at it and I go, "Where are we?" Come on.
Lord,
accepted. Accepted. Modulation. Test site Theta VX84.
When was the last time this site has seen a person or a mechanical creature?
The servitor head tilts to the side.
Welcome to WarHams, the fucking musical.
I love this.
Data corruption cannot answer your question.
When was the data corrupted, my servitor friend?
Unknown. Into the command center you must go.
You hear from very far back, "What the hell are you idiots doing?
We are talking to the servitor.
Why are you singing?"
This is a place coated with the majesty of the Omnissiah. They sing their benedictions proudly. It is a veritable canticle.
You don't sing, though.
Of course I sing. I sing all the time.
He sings their body electric.
Yes.
Reeb's gonna approach the servitor because now I have a question.
Okay. Its eyes are continue like looking out half lifelessly at all of you.
Yeah, I like the thing that makes this even funnier is just how grotesque it is.
Yeah, and the fact that it only animates and starts like bouncing around and talking when you sing to it.
Trying really hard to think of a tune.
Imagine every single time it replies, it bounces up and down like some Banjo Kazooie looking
Yeah,
bastard.
like its arms are like jerking around.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Tell me, good friend servitor. Tell me who the blood wolves are.
Unknown identification. Can't tell about the blood wolves. They are not in my cogitator banks. You will have to go to the command center.
Where
Where
is
is
the command center? I like break glass somewhere.
Where is it?
The void shield ripples in the background.
Sorry, Earndil, for hopping in there.
Deeper in the compound, I can open the way.
Earndil, Astral. No, Reeb,
Are
has
there
to open the
any
way.
life forms left on this station?
I already asked it. It told me it did not know.
Maybe
Stop
if you
singing
ask it
to each
again, it
other.
may answer better.
We don't have to sing to each other, damn it!
Yes, we do!
To the blasted servitor.
It may respond. It's a Hammerstein model servitor that has to respond to us at some point.
Why is the servitor programmed to eavesdrop?
I appreciate in
Science.
chat that the servitor is basically a big mouth Billy Bass.
It's copyrighted. Muting that shit. Nope.
Seconds.
It's still legal. All right, so
Braine is going to rip off one of the bars of gold that's still on his chest from the formal dinner, throw it to the ground because he means business out of this formal attire. And he's going to take center stage with the servitor.
Single
Now,
light shines on you.
Yes. You listen here, my servitor friend. Lemuria is here. Please comprehend. Lemuria. Lemuria. That is the name of the Forge World here to reclaim you all and put things right. Now please open the way if you'll be nice.
I walk up. I walk up the Braine. I pull out a script of Hamilton and put it in his hand. It's like, I mean, if you want to, I mean, there's auditions going on up on the planet.
Well,
Immediately
I
rips the
might
Hamilton shirt.
apply.
Welcome to modulation test site Theta VX84. And it slumps down, and as it does so, you hear this pneumatic hiss as the door behind it opens. And you can tell this door is about a foot thick, and it has these immense like metal bolts coming out of it that unscrew from the walls. And there's just this hiss of incoming air as the door unlocks and presents you with a hallway that you can tell up until a few moments before was probably just in a lifeless vacuum, but now has had atmosphere pumped back into it.
Braine,
Yes.
I have a critique, if I may, for a moment.
Okay.
Why did you rhyme Lemuria with Lemuria 5 times?
Because it wasn't a rhyme, it was a refrain.
Refrains can rhyme.
They can, but they don't have to.
Ugh.
You don't understand music or the Omniscient.
No, I don't think I do. Let us move on.
You are the least inquisitive inquisitor. Well, I'm over it. Let's go.
So you start making your way into this hall, and the thing you notice about this hall compared to the hangar you're just in, where in the hangar there were sort of these old, like kind of rusted walls made of metal. The walls here have this black foamy texture to them, and the walls have these like conical protrusions at different points.
Also made of that black foamy texture?
Yeah.
Oh, they're lined in ferrofluid.
So, like, how foamy is it? Like, an actual weird substance, or is it like strange architecture?
I mean, I will tell you so you can picture it all. It's like that soundproof foam that you put on your walls. It's just down the entire.
I get you.
It's the
Holy
last time
shit,
somebody tries
it's
to-
a streamer room.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Lauren, come get your streamer foam.
This would be
Aw.
so good for my setup.
What really sucks, I have like boxes of that in my closet.
Oh god.
And yeah, you just see this hall is covered, and it carries on. Though, as you take your first step in, Pi, I assume you're the first one to enter. These light lumens in the top corners begin to pop on. And you could see, like, further down from this entryway, that foam starts becoming patchier, and you see some more traditional walls with conduits and cables and cogitator units that are all just dull and blank. But all throughout, there's still these patches of foam on the walls.
What were
What
they
an
doing here?
intriguing place. What are they doing here? I can answer that.
By all means.
Well, it's very common for the children of the Adeptus Mechanicus to sing their praises to the Omnissiah. In fact, surprisingly, there's many a song involved in the rites of creating and maintaining different objects. More than likely, this is a particularly devout installation, thus the foam. It means some means likely of insulating their auditory functions. There's some areas in Lemuria sort of like this, but generally, we are pivoted towards other purposes.
Speaker, I am so mad at you because that actually makes sense. That's not bullshitting this time. That actually makes sense, and I hate that.
I know, isn't it great?
And as you carry on for a little bit, like a couple minutes going down some of these halls, you can tell this place is just labyrinthine. The halls cut off at 90-degree angles. Everything is pure, proper 90-degree angles, by the way. But you can see a hall that breaks off into another T-junction, then a four-way junction, then two-way junctions. You're very quickly having difficulty keeping track of where you are.
Crazy question. So you said that the foam is on the walls, yes?
Yes.
Would it be possible for... Can I take it off the walls with relative ease, or is it, like, very secure on there?
You can sort of pull at the edges, and you could tell, like, a good strength would rip this off.
Because I want to see if I can rip off a panel or two and use them as breadcrumbs so we don't get fucking lost.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Absolutely.
I don't have my Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs to bring with me on this occasion. Sorry.
Yeah. You can just rip off chunks of the foam too, and just sort of drop it behind you.
Yeah.
Be careful, that might be disrespectful to the tech priest that may or may not still lie in these holes.
We can put it up later.
Okay, but promise me that you will.
We will. I have no intention of desecrating a place that is someone's home. We just need to be able to find our way out afterwards.
And as you say that, Reeb, all of you turn a corner and see a scene of carnage. There are about a half dozen bodies strewn about the floor in that sea green armor, though this time you can see the full sort of carapace armor that is just splattered over the area. Chunks of armor have broken off. Bodies are tumbled down. They all seem to still have like slick blood on them. But they're just like pattered over the floor. Some of them in just what appears to be strange, nonsensical states of dismemberment. What's everyone doing seeing this after the pregnant pause?
So how large are these teal green? They're just normal people?
They're humans. Like they're like bulky carapace armor, but they're humans.
Oh, I see. Reeb, could you attempt to gain a cause of death? We might assume they fell in combat with the red ones.
Reeb is suddenly donning a very large, overly comedically sized medical glove with a snap. Yes, I'm on it.
Yeah, and you walk down and you see again these different like solar pattern void armor that you saw previously. Again, just a bit of a lighter sea green color. You start going through and checking the bodies. Give me a Medicaid check, Reeb, as you're investigating this.
Yeah, so just the thing I'm keeping an eye out for is like why they're in such bad disarray. Because something that shot them to explode them apart like this is something big and powerful and either explosive or energy based. That's a 10.
That is a 10. Explosive, energy based, explosive, mass reactive. And you've heard of these type of weapons. They are commonly referred to as bolters. And this is what happens when a human in any kind of substandard armor is hit by a bolter.
Oh.
Yeah, about what I expected. Are there spent casings nearby, or anything that could be identified as a casing? Unless these are caseless. I don't remember if Gyro.
There are large casings, bolt casings around on the floor.
I'm gonna. Hey, how's your tech? Would this be a tech to like try and determine where these are from?
Like you with a 10 on your check, you not only have enough to identify like this was essentially a rocket propelled grenade that exploded in someone. With a 10, you're also able to tell like from your white dwarf, which I assume you pull out and quickly reference. This is like the quintessential picture of a person getting hit by a bolter. So you know that this would be a bolt weapon.
I'm trying to find out with the supposed tech check if we can identify like the kind of bolter that discharged it.
Oh yeah, that would be incredibly difficult. It would be a tech check, but it would be
I will hold that for later, so I can possibly, if we don't get answers here, bring it up later to our very large, very gangly engines here.
Sure. I assume during this, Pi, are you looking over sort of the technical bits?
Yeah. I mean, I know they're bolters. The fact that they are bolters, I guess, like, I'm vaguely interested in quality. But really, I want to know, like, are these guys arranged out in any kind of purpose, or are they just splattered around everywhere because they were blown up by bolters?
It looks like they were blown up by bolters. But what you do notice is that amongst all of the sort of detritus of their corpses, the one closest to what you guess would be the front of their formation is clutching a plasma gun. The rest all have sort of older las guns that you saw, the Calibrix variant. But the one up front has a really nice looking plasma gun.
I'll reach down and grab it.
Salvage.
Yeah.
I put the radium pistol to the side. Cock the plasma gun. We're going to find out who did this. And if they try to do it to us, at least we'll be ready.
And as you cock it, it gives this lovely like whine of charge.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it like
the
camera
blue
angle?
glow appears along its coils and sort of bathes you in its light, giving this sort of strange coloration to your red robes.
I assume you kind of do like movie pose. It's like, we're gonna mash them up. You turn over, pistol to the side, and your eyes aim the plasma gun. Just.
Yep.
I also appreciate chat who's pointing out, yeah, of course, this is the episode where the plasma gun shows up, the one where it's Complication City.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey,
absolutely. So,
actually,
I have one last really important question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
The important question is, what color is the plasma glow?
This would be a lovely blue.
Yeah, compliments time. All right, there you go.
I'm not cursed.
All right, Reeb, what was your question?
Reeb is going to very carefully and methodically pick the las guns out of each of the troopers' hands and just kind of neatly stow them aside, because I would also like to, assist our astropath in having more guns so he can work gooder.
Absolutely.
But for later.
Can we, I head over to Zedek. Hey, Captain Zedek, can we, have some servitors fly down here and pick up these weapons while we traverse this area? Some goons?
That I'm not sure of. We don't know what's here.
We have radio
at the moment.
communication, right? You picked up the radio, right? Right?
I picked up a little handset.
The
but I'm
void
not
suits
sure if
have comms on them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but if you're talking interplanetary, like if you want to reach the ship, you
Yeah.
have to go back to the Arvis because
Ah.
it's a bulky unit. Yeah,
We'll get it later.
We can convince Braine to install one in his back later.
the las guns just like you can leave them here. It's okay. But they're all master crafted las guns because back in the
Nice.
day, the Emperor cared about his boys.
Hey, can I? You said the word mastercraft.
You
and
will
my
see
ears were
all
like,
of these things.
Can I
What
have
was
a
that?
ranged weapon?
Sure,
That's not a
I guess.
flamethrower.
I
Yeah.
would like to have a mastercrafted ancient las gun because that could be cool.
Absolutely.
I will pocket one.
Cool. Yeah, you pick it up. You've got enough to like holster it over your shoulder.
Is the
Reeb.
battery charged?
Oh yeah, I should probably check that. Can I do a tech to see if this thing even can take the ammunition?
Your ballistic skill. So for things like that, it's actually ballistic skill, but you don't even have to make a test. You're able to quickly check. Everything here has been preserved. Again, the atmosphere here was entirely shut down, so the power cells in these are still actually active.
I'm gonna take as much ammunition as I can for reloads.
Yeah, you basically have the common assortment of ammo reloads. So I think it's 3.
Good, cool. I got a nice gun.
Yeah.
You got a nice gun.
Excellent.
Hey, we went down to the corner store. We got him a nice gun. It's a good gun.
Now I can attack at a distance further than
Further than flamer.
short.
Lorn will look at the dead bodies and go, he's trying to see if anyone was wearing like any convenient power armor or anything
No.
better than.
No, it's all carapace and it's all.
I
been
always
disrupted.
die when air hits me in a different angle. Damn it! Lorn.
Sorry.
Goes
We'll work on
off.
getting you something better when we're back on the ship. We'll
Yeah, but
see
so
how we can make
Lorn
it
does
our
that.
way.
Captain Zedek, what are you doing during all of this?
I'm gonna go over to Braine and just admire his gun and say, Braine,
Yes.
that is a beautiful, beautiful firearm. I have just one request in your forthcoming crusade of blood when you kill people with that.
Oh, yes.
Please don't fire it next to me. I don't want to lose my limbs.
I will make no promises. Though I understand your candor. This plasma gun is an excellent piece of craftsmanship, but it is no caliber.
Can you even read plasma caliber at your side? Never mind. Okay, I shouldn't have expected any less. Is there any indication of the direction that these bodies are going, or is it just steadily?
They were heading down the hall, and then the casings are further down the hall, like the cluster of them. It looks like whatever was firing the bolter was standing at the opposite end of the hall and firing.
Okay.
But the hull carries on, again, breaking off into numerous paths.
Oh, that's one of those. Well,
Yes.
gentlemen, we have several options. We could go into the right direction, or we could go in the other direction. And we have 3 potential right directions.
I believe I put my fingers up to my head and I go, and I take out my bones and clatter them on the floor, and the bones say forward.
Any other suggestions?
What? Hey! Don't diss the bones! I rattle at you.
Reeb,
Death rattle.
as they're having this conversation, you can swear you hear something like very, very far down the right hall. Just this. Duh.
Just that, just dut.
Just. Duh.
Distant doot.
I am assuming that it is only me that can hear that.
Yeah, you're the only one who hears that during this, like the rest of the conversation.
Gentlemen, brief interruption.
Yes?
I heard a dit down this right hallway.
You heard the din of a distant doot down the darkened doorway of the hallway?
Yes, I heard a distant dit, and it is demonstrated to me that we are not alone.
Damnation! Let us go meet our dut.
Lorn, after scavenging around bodies, he stands up and looks down the hallway where the Duke came from.
Okay. Give me a psychic mastery test.
Uh-oh.
Time to go to the warp.
It's time for Zoran to complicate.
Nice. Awesome. The issue
Yeah.
with me, issue I'm having right now, because I changed the dark mode of the thing, so I have to make sure I can see. Because it changed my character sheet where it's hard to see.
Oh,
There we go.
yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Full 20 light mode.
I
Oh,
got a
six
6
glory.
and a
See?
glory.
And a glory.
Oh.
It's the opposite.
You feel this chill from down that direction, like this empty coldness.
Oh.
Like you're back on Fenris and the winters have dug themselves into your body.
No. I look at everyone, and everyone will see I have fear in my eyes, going, there's something terrible down that hallway.
Terrible enough to make you balk.
And I'm just shaking my head like, nuh-uh. Like, nuh-uh. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to go down there. We should leave.
That makes it very serious.
No, we cannot leave. We have a duty to perform.
We do have a mission.
I thought
But do we have? We could look back down there later and just explore the other options.
I mean, the bones said go forward. This is down to the right.
We must follow the bones. The spirits will lead us the way. We must go forward.
Lorn is compelled by the motive force. Let us cleanse these vile corridors.
There's a
Forward.
wine of plasma charging as you cock it again.
Lorn
I like that you're
does not
cocking it
care.
multiple times.
Please stop talking it. I'm getting upset. I'm getting concerned.
He just keeps cocking it. He's never used one of these before.
It just continues to charge.
Lorn goes forward down that hallway.
Yeah. Okay. So you carry
Not the hallway
on.
the dupe, but forward, the forward position.
Yeah,
at the right.
yeah. You carry on, making your way forward, and then there's a wholly 90-degree turn left, and then there's a wholly 90-degree turn right, and then there's a massive square chamber up ahead, with a raised platform in the center, about 5 by 5 meters wide. The entire room is probably 20 by 20 meters. It's a pretty massive room. But this raised sort of raised metal plinth in the center, at the exact center of the room, there's a dais on it that has what appears to be like 4 cuts in it and a red button on each of the cuts.
Oh, it looks like a teamwork puzzle, guys.
Well, I'm out. I play with my bones.
Okay, you sit down.
I get the comedy crook and hook him back into the room.
It seems as though we're going to have to solve this puzzle.
I'd cock the gun again.
You're gonna make it explode.
I can't wait for we're back at Hives Arcanon. Guess we have to have a social encounter.
It's literally, if he's going to keep doing it, I'm going to get to the point where I go, well, looks like I have to smite somebody. I'm going to go put a shotgun shell comes out of my staff.
Yeah.
That's
Amazing.
what?
You just ask Braine to install a shotgun pump action to your staff that does nothing but makes you feel
Does Lorn learn a spell that is just put a shotgun shell into reality and fire it?
All right, so yeah, you see this this plinth in the center that has these 4 red buttons on it.
Shall we, boys?
Yes, we shall.
There's literally nothing else in here but a plinth with 4.
There's nothing else in this room.
What could possibly go wrong?
There are other directions to check. We don't have to go right down to this.
No, we have to do the puzzle right now. It's clearly interesting. I want to do the puzzle.
I'll
This is
be
not a
brave.
puzzle, it is a button that takes 4 people to push.
I assume the button that kind of helped describe because I've been trying to manage stuff on the side. It's 4 buttons as if it was on an elevator kind of button, just 4 nearby or 4 on each.
So it's basically like a raised plinth about 3 feet high,
Okay.
and then on top, it's cut into 4 different sections.
Okay.
It's like a circular plinth, and then there's buttons on each of those sections.
Okay.
So essentially, like a buzzer button you could press down on.
Anyway, so I'll pick a button. I get the one and
Why are we pressing buttons? What?
let's just do it. Let's see what happens.
The motive force commands it! And I'm going to crawl up and I'm going to push the button next to
The
Lorn.
bones have brought us here, and we must try. We must go past this obstacle.
I roll a Medicaid check on the button. No, I press it.
It's made
Okay,
of
so,
button.
so all of you press the button. Zedek, I assume you're joining in as well.
With a final quick flourish, I will press the remaining button.
And there's this, like, all of the buttons turn to this healthy green glow. And then you hear, first of all, you feel the ground shake slightly, and the stone plinth you're on splits into 4 segments, cutting each of you off with maybe 2 or 3 inch thick lines that appear in the floor as the sections of the plinths sort of spread apart. And immediately after, metal bulkheads shoot up, sectioning each of you off from one another. Along with that,
have betrayed me.
as you shout this, Lorn, that's what all of you hear just in time for from the ceiling descends that soundproofing foam, effectively cutting off communications to one another as the foam puts you into these like sectioned off like 5 by 5 squares, or sorry, 2.5 by 2.5 squares, and a like stool pops out in front of each of you. And from the ceiling descend speakers. And so you're essentially in this little box room with speakers. All of you except for Captain Zedek. Captain Zedek, you notice that the far wall of your little area is broken. And in fact, it points off to a hallway that has now become visible with the recreation of or the reconstruction of this chamber. There's sparking lumens off in the distance, and you hear this like metal groaning as the systems above you try to lower more of this soundproof foam into place, but it just kind of like crushes onto each other and like falls down in this massive broken foam. And then one of the speakers that should be coming just collapses on the ground in front of you with this shattering impact. And you can tell all the hydraulics above your booth are completely broken. But for the other 3 of you, you find yourselves in these not comfy, but like, you know, pretty tight booths with big speakers now facing at you. And Lorn, you're first. What is like the horrific music that starts coming out and playing at you?
I was hoping you would figure that out, because now I gotta think of music that I really hate.
Yeah. Think of like the worst type of music, and like, is it just like, you know, under hive like slang rap? Is that what starts playing?
Pretty much, yeah. Just terrible. Just has no soul, no context. It's all about that one person's selfish lyrics. There's nothing about, you know, community or anything. It's just terrible. On like the rhyming is off, the beats are just overbearing. It's someone who thinks they're way cooler than they are. It's exactly that type of music.
And you are trapped in a room with this playing at like a massive volume level.
And I molten beam the speakers.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Reeb, what is the terrifying music you hear?
I can't play it, obviously, because, you know, copyrighted music. But there is one track in mind that just brings me to utter agony, and I will now put it in in our Discord here. And I will say it is Dupe by Dupe.
Dupe
by Dupe.
How does it go?
Okay.
How does it go? Because I haven't heard it. I can't listen to it. But how does it go?
It sounds like carnival music, but like hip hop carnival music.
Hold up,
You got it.
I actually got it muted. Hold up. Is it
like that?
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't play it on stream. But look
this
up.
is awful.
So for those of you who don't know what the hell he's talking about, look up Dupe.
Pie Braine. What is your most like horrendous music that could be thrown to you?
Well, what plays in mine is actually really nice sounding. It's this beautiful, like, high quality, like Mechanicus chanting. It is to like an observant of the Adeptus Mechanicus that can appreciate it. It is gorgeous. The issue is that it is a chant from Forge World Graia.
Yes, it is absolutely. It's like the Graia national anthem.
Yeah. And that is what is playing.
All right, beautiful.
Banging
So we have all three of you like in these horrendous situations. We have Lorn getting ready to Molten Beam, but then we cut to Zedek in his destroyed little cubicle. Zedek, can you give me an awareness test, please?
I would be happy to.
Excellent.
I got a 2 and
Ooh,
a
a two. Yeah. So you like after the smashing of the speaker unit to the ground and the like sort of grinding of all the hydraulics above you, you can tell it's perfectly silent. You're completely cut off from your allies. And then you just far down the hall, which again is only illuminated by flickering lumen strips, you just hear this boom, dun dun, dun dun, dun dun.
I should know better than to call out and speak to them, but I guess there's only one place to go. I'll flick my wrist and begin charging my arc pistol as I use it to light my way and proceed down the hall.
Dun dun. Yeah, you start, and the light of your arc pistol is providing you some illumination. But as you get just further down, you can see maybe 20 meters down at the end of the hall, something comes into your line of sight. And it is this immense construct that walks sort of parallel and then turns towards you, coming in from an offshoot. It is probably a solid 12 feet tall, and it has this immense grill mouth, and both of what you think should be its arms are these tangled messes of cabling and wires that end in great speakers. And it turns. Done. And it starts walking towards you.
I aim my arc pistol at it.
Is it playing fucking Darude?
Yes. And it's getting louder. It's getting louder as it's coming towards you.
Oh, you gotta take out Siren Head.
You can give me an attack roll, please.
Darude Siren Storm.
Yeah. Please give me an attack roll against this thing.
I hate sand, but mostly storms. I got a 4 and a complication. Wow!
Oh, I like
You
that.
get the plasma gun.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me it makes it louder.
Zedek, it gets even worse because now that you've attacked it, now it starts playing Dupe.
It starts running.
Yeah. So you fire, and let's see if you hit this thing. I think you do. I'm just pulling up its lovely statistics here. Yeah, you hit it. Please roll me damage.
All right. 15 at AP -1.
Cool. It's going to roll some determination here. Cool. You managed to hit it, and then you realize your bolt of arc energy flies out towards it, smashes onto its body, and then is stopped by some kind of refractor field that sort of ripples in the air around it. Dun, 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 dun. And it takes like a ponderous step towards you. And it starts walking very methodically and purposely towards you, clearly having taken nothing from that shot. And with that, can you also roll me 2d6, please?
Sure. I'll give you 2d6. Oh no.
And your arc pistol suddenly runs dry from ammo as you hold down the stream the entire time trying to discharge it on this thing.
Awesome.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess we won't be listening to much
Lorn?
electronic music.
Lorn, you were going to, I believe, give me a molten beam test, were you not?
Yep, I'm shooting the speakers so this terrible music no longer exists in my mind.
Sure.
And then crack a drac, and I roll a second mastery that is a 4.
Yeah, cool. So you blast out the speakers, no problem. You don't even have to roll like damn. Yeah. 19 is more than enough. In fact, you sear through the metal here because it's fairly like thin.
Yeah, I assume
metal.
I'm angling it like over where I think Captain Zedek would have been, or whatever. Just a
Yeah, like you would have been
like
beside. So you actually like crack open this hole in the wall, and you see like just as you sort of tear down the wall with this line of energy, you pop the speakers, and then the wall sort of collapses down from the strain of like what you've done, sort of slicing it. It falls. You can see Zedek has already moved up from his area and is firing at something in the distance.
I quickly rush up.
So what we're going to do right now is actually we're going to go into combat initiative here. And so who would like to go first?
I guess me, since I'm here.
Yeah, probably.
What
Lorn.
a question to ask, GM. The rest of us are listening to Green Day and.
I mean, we could take the combat round of Reeb handling Doot Tube.
You do realize that Reeb is not going to be fighting it. He's just going to sit on the stool with like his eyes closed and his head like is like chin on his hand, and he's just going to sit there like very frustrated, like
And I just imagine Braine is literally clawing at the walls to get out of this riot.
I'm sorry, just for the record, for added immersion, I have currently got Dupe by Dupe, the official music video of 1994, playing on loop in the background.
Good. I have Darude's Sandstorm on a 10-hour loop. Carry on, Pi, you were saying.
Oh, Pi probably like for like the first couple seconds was like, notify the superiors that there has been a mishap, explain your purpose, like trying to do the sing-song thing, and then just like after no response, immediately just started going, "You son of a bitch bastard, I'll kill you!" and just started like ripping up this fucking tube.
Start power sorting everything, like just Kylo
like,
Ren in the interrogation rooms.
Okay, Lorn, I guess if we're doing that, let's start with Lorn in the combat. What are you doing, Lorn?
I'm rushing through the hall, and I say, Zedek, what's going on? And I scoot over, and I assume it's like directional speakers where I don't really hear it all that well, just a fake do-do-do-do-do.
And then you turn to come behind Zedek, and it's suddenly way louder. And it's you see this thing walking down the hall.
Lorn, we are at a disco. I pissed off the DJ and I didn't bring enough biscuits. I need your help.
I Mega Man the motherfucker with a molten beam. Just
okay, yeah, roll it up.
And with permission, I'm gonna use all glory die for damage.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
totally.
I don't know if you'll need all that damage.
I glory. No, do I glory? Yeah, whatever. That's an 8. To go after it, and I am going to then glory.
Perfect.
Gotta use all 4, or do we want to save some for you guys?
I'd like to save some in case I have to work my way out of this dupe prison I've put myself in.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2 then, because we have 4 total. So, and then so I fire, go as much as I can. Molten beam, just a pure line for 24 damage.
24 damage is intense, and you push Zedek out of the way and like conjure forth this beam of molten energy. Will you please knock me down a rune point? As I activate one of this thing's special abilities, the audiophonic warding, in which you see as the molten beam heads towards it, suddenly these strange like alien glyphs glow all over its body, this tiny script of high Gothic intermingled, brief, but just enough that as the molten beam flies, it reaches within about 10 meters of it and then shrinks down to nothing and then dissipates. And now your concentration is just broken.
I immediately spent a wrath point. Net a decoration. I like Iron Man beam another hole into the next room and trying to get the fuck out.
Yeah. Roll me.
GM,
Roll me. Oh, go ahead.
May I give you the sound effect?
Yes.
I'm worried. Yes.
That's exactly it. It is deep fried bass. Just wait. All right, Earndil. 3, 2, 1, and we're cutting hole. Go. And there you go. It's now opened.
Yeah. So
I'm like charging through.
You cut open to like a power sword inches from your face as Pie is there, having thrashed the chamber Pie was in.
I'm with my narrator. I'm running up, and like I assume Braine's like cooling down, just having a. Just just finally I'm out of this room. I immediately just I hear and I'm like rushing over. I grab Braine. I'm like, we have to get the fuck out of here right now. And I like push him, and I'm like just dashing to the other one, trying to like beam another one. And I kind of use my other wrath point to do that again for the other room because Lorn's sprinting.
So you're like taking like 3. You're burning all your wrath just to narratively declare how fast you were fucking psychicking your way out of here.
Fuck out! I spent my last
give me
wrath.
Another molten beam cast. Except please roll me an extra d6 when you're done.
Okay, so just a normal mastery test. You meaning?
Yeah, normal mastery test, and then another one once you've.
Okay, so whoop, and there is that one that is an 8 total.
You're good, and then roll another d6 for me.
I roll a d6 for you. That is a 2.
Perfect. You find that you just have like no control over your psychic powers. Like you are just like uncontrolled using everything because you just need to get out of here. So you're like basically
smite lightning molten beam.
Yeah, and you cut into like see Reeb, who is like head down on like hand chin on there, and yeah, Reeb, you see this, and behind it you hear.
Reeb's still basking in the agony that is the music. My eyes are closed, my ears are shut. I can't hear a damn thing.
I mean, I assume I'm running up the Reeb. I grab him, I'm like, and I just like start trying to find exits now that I'm as distant as I can be.
Okay, that would be the end of your action. We now come
that's
to,
all I can do.
Yeah, we come to either Pie Braine or Reeb, who would like to go next.
I would love to go.
Okay.
So Pie has stopped listening to the London Philharmonic Orchestra. In his head, it's a lot more like BFG Division. And enchanted with just the sheer rage that he feels towards Forge World Graia, and like how far he is and how little everyone believes in him. He's got his power sword out, does not give a shit about Lorn, and is just running at this golem, saying, "I am Pie Braine of Forge World Lemuria!" And is going to make an attack with charge.
Sure.
Translator's note: I rage and charge the enemy.
I rage and charge.
Excellent.
There's a scene. There's like a psychic kind of like bubble thing that kind of like goes up to the top things. And it's like another dimension thing of a out of narrative experience. Lorn kind of comes up to Braine in this kind of space filled thing, and kind of comes like, you don't care about me. And with his yell of rage, the bubble pops, and Lorn in his
like
spear
raising his
cries.
power sword. Okay, give me your attack roll, please.
I love nothing more. So Pie's just bringing it down with 8 dice.
Yeah, you can shift 2 of those to damage if you'd like.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Right, so that's going to be 13 with pen 3.
Cool. You managed to nick into its side slightly. You smack into it. You seem like you've done some amount of damage to it, but not a lot.
That's fine. I can do this all day.
Then it will go. It will raise one of its speaker hands up under your face.
It's entitled to that.
I will complicate, but I will hit you with a 6. What's your defense?
5.
5. Cool. So I can't shift any damage, which is fine, but I'll roll, see what I get here. I'll get 12 on you.
Okay. So I think I'm taking 3 of that.
AP -1.
Okay, so I'm taking 4.
An AP -1, yeah.
Yeah. So I will try to soak it. Follow me, Aria.
Determination, please. Yes.
Yes. It's not. Oh, yes, yes. There we go.
So
For people confused
convert
about
to the
our
shock?
layout, Braine gets 5 if he's in melee for his defense.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. All right, so I'm going to take 2 shock, you said?
Yeah, 2 shock, and then the rest would be damage because you just convert to shock.
Okay. So I
and then, will you please give me a athletics test?
I would love to.
Yeah.
And I'll throw a glory at this.
Sure.
To complete.
I'll spend the wrath on that one, little
Okay.
Jimmy.
Cool.
All right, 6 in total with a complication.
Okay, so you can tell that this thing is trying to push you back, and like you're barely able to hold on to the ground as it like basically puts its arm under you and starts blasting these sonic waves that just and you're just being pushed, but you're able to hold your ground just barely as this blast is going off. There's no complication for the athletics test. Yeah, you can totally counterattack.
Okay.
I have to do the complication on it though, because it made its attack. And you can seem like it's where you've hit it, you've somewhat stunned it, is what it looks like.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to keep hacking at it with an all-out. I'm not going to all-out attack this shit. Do you think I'm nuts? All right, so we're just going to go. You're right. So taking my sword, how much glory we got left in the pool? Just 1? I'm not going to waste it. So taking my sword again, Pious going to try to cleave further into this creature.
Okay. Do it.
And we're going to see how far.
Nice, a crit. Absolutely.
Critical hit.
Yes. So how many of those can I shift?
Huh? You can shift. Its defense is 4, so you can shift 2 of those.
Glory and a crit, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
So here we
Do
go.
your thing quickly. Go full.
Yes. Rolling damage. Not exceptional.
Great.
No. It will basically take the same amount of damage you did last time, but roll me 2d6 for your combat critical to see what you do.
Sure.
You get a 36, which is a savage attack, which does a mortal wound to it as well, and then +1 mortal wound for every glory you spend.
Oh, so I will spend 2 glory then to get 2 mortal wounds.
Okay, so it'll take.
And that's going to sap our pool, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm fine with it.
It like you manage to bring your power sword down on the other side of its shoulder and tear in, going about like 6 inches in, burning everything, and then pull out. And as you do, it sort of like has these sparks coming out, and it's still up. But that was its go. I believe that brings us to Reeb.
Yeah, so, hey, here's the problem I'm having. I don't exactly know how much damage this thing is taking, if at all. Also, I want to point out, why is there anime in the text box?
It's holding its head in absolute fear.
Yes. I'm going to... now that I have a weapon that will not cause Braine to be attacked by fire and burning, I
Yay.
will actually use this las gun.
Okay.
I do not have the stats for. Because it's I don't know if it's got like different stats compared to standard las gun.
It's just +2 to the attack bonus of it. So standard las gun with +2 attack dice.
Actually, on second thought, let me look. What are our options exactly right now besides fighting this thing?
There's like Lorn is madly trying to cut a new hole for you to escape out of.
So the material that he's attacking is metal.
Yes, but he's using his psychic melt-a-gun to cut through it.
I'm going to increase the heat of it with a flamer.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, you turn to sort of add your regular fire to this molten fire, and quickly, like this isn't a massive sheet of metal by any stretch. So the two of you focusing on it, you just pop that wall off, and you have a hallway which essentially goes off left to where you entered the room, but it carries on to a new hallway that wasn't accessible before.
Okay, so that's not helpful. The only reason I don't want to shoot with the las gun is because I did not put the information into my sheet just yet, and I feel
it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
as
don't
everyone
wanna
else's turns go, I guess you can find that information and put it in.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now since I think that's my
Okay.
turn.
So you spend your turn flamering and making a hole in the wall. Cool.
Yeah.
That brings us to the end of the initiative order. It is now the top of the initiative order. Who wants to go first?
I would like to go first and recoup my absolute fear at being able to do nothing to this thing.
I mean, Lorn's out of here, so
Lorn's leaving.
yeah. Lorn, I literally molten beamed it with 20-something damage. Lorn's done.
Well, it probably
Lorn
only
did what he
survived because a ruin was spent.
Lorn's done.
And that's okay. That's perfectly okay. Zedek feeling a bit more confident now that Braine is going full rip and tear on this machine. I want to say poor machine, but I have zero sympathies for this horrible golem. I'm going to run up to it, unsheath my power sword from its holster, and just try and drive it right into its other side.
Sure. Give me an attack roll.
One fat attack roll coming up. Boom. And it's complication, and I would like to spend
and you rolled a one.
And remember, the wrath does not remove the complications.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Mark me down.
All right.
Okay.
Wow.
No. Captain Zedek goes in to help and does not help. Roll me 2d6, Captain Zedek.
This is not a good.
I'm glad your entire
Zedek's not
turn
having a
was
good
just to
day.
be a failure.
Oh, excellent. You manage not only to do that, you fall prone.
Great.
As you go up, hit it, the reverberations just, go through your body and you slip.
Can I make a willpower test?
Popeye.
Yes,
knock.
you can give me a willpower test.
Yeah, there's another complication.
Why do you do this to yourself?
You are terrified.
Just not
of
having
this.
a good day.
I will go. Will you mark me down another rune point, please? I'm going to activate a new ability. It's called Audio Sandstorm.
Oh no.
Can Braine and Captain Zedek give me an athletics test?
Yes, they can.
Sweet.
They would relish the
Oh,
opportunity.
of course they got a glory.
Okay. So you get a glory, but that doesn't count because you fail.
I'm going to spend another glory on this. Actually, that glory, because if I am moved, I'm fucked because I used counterattack.
He doesn't get that glory because he fails the test.
Oh, well,
Yes.
I'll spend a glory regardless if it's okay with the class.
That's good.
Remember. Yep. 4? Okay, you fail.
I fail with 4? All right.
Yes.
I'll wrath it, I guess.
Okay.
All right, march it down.
There you go. You succeed. So, Captain Zedek, you are sent
back, basically hurled 5 meters away from it. As the air around it starts vibrating and you are pushed back. You hit one of the walls and sort of like slump down from that. You take 1 mortal wound from that.
Awesome.
As your back cracks and you hit your butt right where you ripped your pants.
Man, I am going to put one of the Medicaid down when we get back to the ship if we get
So
back to the
activating
ship to get
that was
delivered.
a free action on its part. So it's going to attack you now, Pie Braine.
Well, before it does that, I will get my counterattack.
Yeah, absolutely. You will be at a -2 penalty to attacks on it. So
Okay.
basically, its defense counts as 2 higher.
Oh, all right. I guess I'll add a glory to it. The last glory to try to hit on this one.
Okay.
Go for it.
Oh, another crit.
That'll hit. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And crit.
All right. And I'll shift 1, I guess.
Yeah, you can shift the 1. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll roll the damage for 15 damage, AP -3.
15 damage, AP -3. It seems that the AP isn't being exceptionally good against it for some reason. Oh wow. Okay. It gets a bunch more shock, but honestly looks like it takes no damage from the actual damage of your attack. Can you roll me 2d6?
Yes, I absolutely can. Oh, come on, baby. 62.
Ooh, I'm sure 62 is good on the crit table. Let's find out. Unspeakable Carnage. Ooh, takes 1d3 plus 3 mortal wounds, plus 1 for every glory you spend. Like if you spend it specifically on this, but you spent it already, so no. Roll me a d3.
Okay, sure thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't work.
Oh, no.
I'll just roll a d6, I
There we
guess.
go. So no, you got
Oh,
it. The D3
okay.
one. Yeah, cool. So 4. Cool. Yeah, you managed to stagger it back just a little. It looks like it's finally taken some significant damage from that.
So how bad does it look now? Does it look like
It's got a couple gashes on it. It doesn't look like it's stuttering or anything.
Run, you fools!
I
Run!
can't! I counterattacked!
It's
wants to go next?
Star Wars music is too strong!
We have to fight, gentlemen!
Doesn't that make it the robot's turn?
No, that was the robot's turn. It's done. So now it's back to you guys. Because Zedek went first.
Lorn, please, I encourage you to do your thing.
Cool. Molten beam in the wall.
Yeah, the wall just completely collapses. The
Yeah,
flamer and your blast has just completely destroyed it.
I'm kicking it
leaving you
down,
a path
looking at
out
me,
of
going, and I immediately am running up to another wall, and someone gave me a wrath point, and I am using every psychic luck possible, just thinking of the layout of the facility, everything else. I look at a wall because I see no exits besides where that thing is. And I immediately point at a wall, going, and I'm using another wrath die, the point at a wall, and start cutting with another
roll me a
molten beam
attack. Yeah, roll me a molten beam attack. And then an extra d6, please.
Cool. So there comes molten beam. That is
Good.
a 6.
Perfect. Roll
And
me a d6.
I will now roll you the 6 of the D. That is a 5.
You're good. You don't even have to roll damage. It just blasts through, and you find yourself like suddenly you're connected to this new hallway by blasting through a random section of wall. You see this new hallway you can now get access to that looks to be a larger arterial hallway that'll give you plenty of places to run off into.
Go. I try to inform by yelling past all the Darudes and music and stuff. Or at least make Reeb aware. Go like, we have to leave now. It just, that thing's dynamite. It took an entire beam and just tanked it.
Perfect. Okay, who wants to go next? Reeb or Pie Braine?
I'm pretty sure it's just me, right? Or does
No, I haven't gone.
Yeah, he reacted, so.
You go ahead first. I need to think about what the hell I'm going to do.
Okay, I'm going to make another attack. At this point, I'm a little nervous about this guy. I'm not going to all-out attack, though.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just going to just make another attack.
Sure.
All
You'll
right.
hit.
I'll hit. I'll shift 1 for damage.
Cannot, because shift would make you miss, because it's defense 4.
Oh, well, yeah, no, but, oh, wait, did I only get 3?
That's on
I'm
the
having a
die.
stroke. Yeah, no, I'm having a stroke.
Yeah, you got it.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. All right, and 13 damage again.
It seems to take that pretty well. It somewhat shaken up a little bit, but it's still there. It looks like you didn't do any more damage with that swing. Again, it looks like every time your power sword is coming in, it's sort of being pushed back.
I need assistance! I can't take this thing down alone!
Run, you fool!
I can't!
Yes, you can. You have legs.
They're welded to the ground!
No, they're not. Get up.
They are!
Reeb, your go.
Okay, so in this scenario, I looked at the stats properly for the lasgun. This thing actually has rapid fire, which I don't know if everyone else's has.
I mean, like weapon. It's a weapon property, but
Yeah, exactly.
you basically get an extra damage die if you run into short range with it.
Okay, so I'm going to. How close am I to this thing?
You're about 15 meters because, like, you're all sort of clustered in that middle area. Well, you are. You could move and get into rapid fire range and still be outside of its crazy wub field.
Yeah, because short range of this thing is 12, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to get within 12 of this thing, and I will do a ranged attack with this funny new lasgun I have.
Cool. Lorn, you basically break off from the rest of the group, running, screaming down the halls. Reeb, you have this moment where you see Lorn run off. You then turn back and pop the corner and take a shot.
Yes, and now I roll the thing. Hopefully I have slotted this in right. Also, I got it.
Damn, there you go.
Nice.
9 to hit. That'll do.
I forgot 1 because I'm in short range for so rapid fire.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, that, yeah.
That's another 6.
Oh
So you
my
can
God.
bring 3 of those dice up, so 3
That's
more damage.
nuts.
Yep.
All right.
So 3 bonus dice on the... Add that 1 extra bonus dice for rapid fire. So, yeah.
Okay, so damage bonus of 3.
4 because the rapid fire.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good.
You.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you hit it. Sadly, it seems to just bounce off of it.
Good. Well, at least I know what I'm going for now.
Mm-hmm.
What's good? I was worried that maybe it was like, oh, the lower AP a weapon is, the better it is against it. No!
That's the end of this turn. Next turn, who wants to go first?
Zedek would like to go.
Okay, Zedek, you're knocked prone 5 meters away.
Oh, geez, I am not going to have enough movement to get up, but I will do my best. Zedek kind of feeling like a piece of shit because he's just getting everything thrown at him.
Mm-hmm.
Takes his chained hit flask out of his jacket, unscrews it, takes a drink, looks down kind of sad, and is like, no. Legends are not made on being a bitch and getting kicked down. Legends are made by those who dare, and I fucking dare to be stupid.
Yeah!
Rapidly put my flask back in my jacket. I get myself back up, and since I can't melee him, I'm going to. Oh, I can't fucking do anything.
As you realize,
You have this realization that your pistol is out of ammo and you haven't reloaded it yet.
as you're sitting there, realization you have it's like the image of like a faded out thing of Lorn coming behind your head, as if I'm like you're thinking of a memory of Lorn. It's like and wise Lorn has once said, "Get the fuck out and run."
I'm gonna try and reload the gun.
The ghost image of Lorn face palms.
Badass speech, and then you're like, I stand up and I reload my gun.
That's really funny though.
So start of the Vox Golem's turn. It maintains its aura as a free action because it can do so for a number of rounds. So give me an athletics test, please, Pie Braine.
I would love.
You broke up. You broke up there. Your internet. Speaker D, internet, no.
No, speaker
His
D.
internet.
Ah,
No. There you
Sorry,
go.
my internet, yeah, it's thundering.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
All right, try again.
Okay.
Athletics test, please. Oh no!
I'm back.
Hey, he's back.
Sorry about that. It's lightning and I you know. All right.
Athletics test, please.
Athletics. Let's go for Libioria.
Yeah, you managed to hold your ground, which is good. It's gonna hit you with its
Counterattack.
box smashers again.
Before
It,
it
like-
does that, I'll counterattack.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't have high hopes about.
Do it up.
Yep.
I believe in you.
Go.
That will miss this time because its aura's up, so you take the penalty to hit it.
Uh,
Yeah. So
I
you
don't have any
swing
reason.
and your sword just goes off to the side, and then it raises its two Vox Smashers and pushes them straight at you. 4 does
Will
not
not
hit you,
hit.
does it?
and I can
Oh.
counterattack him again.
That
You
makes
only
this
get one
thing.
reaction a turn.
But a counterattack I can do twice.
Oh, that's right, because you get a certain number. Yeah, totally.
Yes. And I will. I'm going to.
Wait,
all-out
what's the
attack.
second counterattack from? Is it if it misses or?
No, it's if I'm targeted, I can make. I can make basically as many as my rank times 2 thanks to counterattack.
Oh yeah. But does it have to be like something attacking you to do it?
Yes.
Just because, okay, so the field doesn't trigger a counterattack. That's a passive thing that hits everyone. The attacks would trigger your counterattack, though.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
then I suppose. I mean,
Yes.
fine,
But he misses with his things anyways. So who would like to go next?
I'm already out here, boys.
Yeah, you're running-
Lorn,
you're running
Lorn
down the
has
hall.
already given his warnings, and he's like yelling at the hallway that he has opened up for everyone, saying, "Move it, let's go
So that leaves us
down
with,
this way."
Well, I guess it just leaves us Reeb and Pie.
Yeah, I'm checked out. My guns can't hurt this thing. I got no AP. I've got a knife, so I'm bailing.
Oh no, Pie
I'm
already
like,
went. Sorry, he
you-
made his
you-
athletic. So
Like
yeah.
I think I have like those airline like glow stick things, and I'm like directly towards the hallway. I'm like, this way,
Exit
this
this
way, let us go this way.
White zone is for leaving.
what are the negative consequences for shooting a gun in melee?
For shooting a pistol in melee, you basically just use your agility instead of initiative.
All right. Can I use an interact real quick?
Yeah, what are you looking to do?
All right. I'm going to take my plasma gun and I'm going to throw it at Reeb because I can't use it right now.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, I can't use it. I can't run because I've been counterattacking.
So why are you throwing a plasma weapon at me?
Because your gun isn't doing anything. This might help.
Why you're throwing a plasma weapon at me? Don't do that.
And I'm gonna do more stupid things before the night's up. I'm going to make another attack.
Sure.
Sadly, I've committed. It probably would be wiser to leave, but I committed.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Well, look at that. Yeah. I'm gonna spend 2 glory
Okay.
on the damage dice because I want
Sure.
to fucking hurt this thing. All right, with 15, AP minus 30.
Okay. I am.
Does that do
going to-
anything?
It might. We'll see how my
It might.
determination goes.
It might.
It does do a little bit. It looks like a wound or two got through. Yeah, at that point, I'm not liking this. Can you spend a rune point for me?
Yep.
I am going to have it utilize the second ability of its audiophonic warding, and that's going to restore 1d6 wounds. I'll get 3 back. Cool. As it glows and like the various appendages start like wrapping around and fixing themselves.
At this point, Lorn has already like made signs. He's already paved the hallway You know, and it's like he's already
He's on
put
the
down
Zamboni.
like lines with like the reflectiveness to them. He's now like he's now putting like there's giant Vegas signs right by the thing, and Lorn's just sitting there just tapping his fucking wrist like I'm not fucking around.
Is Lorn on a Zamboni at this point?
Like pretty much.
Yeah, no, he's in one of those like the outfits that they wear when they're like directing planes after they land, just like this way, this way. Okay, yeah, so that it heals. I believe that's the end of the initiative, though. I guess Reeb now has a plasma gun, so
I don't have to make any check to grab this extremely volatile piece of tech hardware that Pi is so callously thrown at me.
no, I'll
We
let you
make
have
them
this.
to fucking withstand some shit. Don't insult.
Do I have to add the plasma gun to my inventory now?
You would, yes. Just roll a ballistic skill test, though. We'll see if you hit. I can do the math in the background.
Please do.
Yep, you're
All right.
good.
This is just my flat ballistic.
Are you going to overcharge it?
No,
I
I'm
assume
going to
not.
overcharge the fucking plasma gun.
Your plasma gun misses as the bolt of plasma goes wide.
What are you doing?
The small miniature sun whizzes by Pi. Pi, be glad he didn't complicate.
I'm very glad he did.
I'm going to now back away with my remaining stuff. Goodbye.
Okay, yeah, you fire and then like you steal Pi's gun. Like, thanks, Pi.
It's mine now.
Absolutely. Okay, this brings us to the next turn in the initiative. Who would like to go first?
Well, at this point, it seems as though we are in a quandary. I cannot move.
It's a new turn. It's a new turn.
No, but
so you can do it.
I did use counterattack since then, though, didn't I?
Oh yeah, baby. Yeah.
So I'm stuck where I am for this turn. So instead of trying to pour more damage onto it, seeing my ranks narrow, I'm going to try to make a tech check, actually. And I'm going to see if maybe while I'm right next to it, I can do something to disable these insane fields it has, protecting itself, or maybe countermand some operations with him.
Let's see it. Come on, let's show me your slightly improved tech skill.
My slightly improved tech skill.
Does we wait for it?
Everyone waits for the roll. Okay.
Okay.
So sadly, Pi, you do not like this is arcane technology of some hitherto forgotten era of time. The warding is something you have never seen, but something is visible to you, and it makes your steely oil run cold as you see the manufacturer's mark on the back of one of these speakers of Forge World Graia.
I will kill this thing. I will die.
Also, give me an athletics check.
Lorn hears the rage and he just puts his hand to his temple. Just like, we're all gonna die here.
I rage and charge in place.
A 5 and a complication.
The complication is me being fairly beneficent, and you make the check, which is it is now pushing you away with this field it's generated, and it sends you sprawling back 5 meters away from it, but you don't take any damage. So you basically stumble back, finally losing your balance. You don't take any mortal wounds from this, but now it is sort of like freed itself from you being right by it. Captain Zedek, you've reloaded your pistol. What would you like to do?
How close is Braine to me?
He would be right beside you now because you got pushed in the same direction. In fact, it's exactly like the picture we have, except Reeb and Lorn are far away.
Yeah.
Giving up. This is dumb.
Braine.
There will
I'll
be
think
a
of a clever
reckoning.
one-liner later. We'll edit this in post. I grab Braine and I try to just drag him away as fast as I can.
No, I need to kill it.
We will kill it later when it is not about to kill us.
All right, so
Well, I feel a little counterattack is kind
this
of
is
doing
the
a lot of it.
scene. I think we're going to take our break right here real quick, and then we'll come back in about 5 or so.
I see.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back, everybody.
explained boneless pizza. You have
Yeah, I mean, what do you like
explain-
more? Do you like pizza with bone or without bone?
This is the kind of stupid shit I'd expect from people who thought the moon landing was real.
It's
You
like,
have
just
to have
fucking-
bone pizza. I love the crunch.
I
Stop
just
putting chicken wings on your pizza, you rat.
Go
The
fuck yourself. They're
deboning
my
process.
delicacy.
look. We can all
pizzas.
agree that we will murder and sacrifice anyone who puts pineapple on pizza, but the motherfuckers who
Agreed.
go boneless
Agreed.
pizza need to
We
just
don't-
not.
There is dissent in the houses. The lance rod is a barrel.
Cup and char. That's all I'm gonna say. There's no excuse.
We
for
require a
cup and char.
Choma meeting to discuss this.
Good, bite me.
Yeah, well, welcome back, everyone, to WarHams. I think we're fucking running in this scene.
I think Pie Braine finally fought something he couldn't kill in one hit.
It would have
And
taken
now
me a
it's
couple
running.
more. Give me another round, DM.
Put me back in, coach. Put me back in.
We return to the Benny Hill music going on as our party is madly dashing through the corridors of this Mechanicum outpost. At this point, since Lorn is an old man, his companions have reached up to him.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Going so slow? We have to run.
What you notice is that this golem creature that you were fighting moves particularly slowly.
Oh.
Can we just walk?
Can we walk
Yeah.
but act
Yeah,
like
we
we're
start-
scared and running fast?
And like just casually just going like a normal stride. It's getting as I look back.
Away.
This is Scooby Doo now.
Yeah, by the time you've like caught up to Lorn, this thing is far behind you. You can just sort of hear the in the background.
Oh,
Is it the Ghostbusters theme now? What?
I look behind it like, oh, well, it's not that scary. I point at its ceiling and molten beam it for debris to fall upon it.
You can't quite like see it because it's like behind like turned corners, but you could like cause a debris to like
No,
block
that's
its
what I'm
path
doing.
if
As
you
soon as
want.
I see it, I'm like, oh, it ain't that fast.
Yeah, give me a molten beam test, please.
Give me one of them molten beams.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't even have to roll damage. You cause a section of the roof to collapse around it and sort of block off its path temporarily.
Cool. All right, good job, boys. And I move
We
on.
need to have a plan.
Yeah, we go forward, like the bone said.
No, shut up about the bones.
The bones are not very accurate.
We're being chased by a creature, some sort of automata or other sort of corrupted.
I look
mechanical
back at the
monster.
said thing chasing us, trapped in the debris, and then look back at Braine. I'm like, what?
We have a moment. We need to think about how we are going to destroy it, or any others that we find on the way.
It's
That's when
taken
you
care of.
notice the hall that you're in has several corpses in it. These ones are different from the ones you'd seen previously.
Good.
Reeb, you would easily identify these without having to make a check. They're in like the attire of Adeptus Administratum workers.
I like how you did that just as I opened my character sheet again today.
Of course.
I'm impressed like that.
Administratum. They're not blown to bits, are they?
It looks like some of them have these distortion marks on them. You can
Okay.
give me a Medicaid check to identify how they died.
There's the complication, but I still have a 9.
Oh yeah, with the 9, that's enough for you to note. The way these people died was from massive sonic impacts. Like their organs were crushed by sonic vibrations.
Good. Just as
And the complication is that you notice or start hearing that the debris behind you is starting to get knocked apart, and you can hear this.
Time's up. Time to move.
I begin to move forward. We can talk
Yeah,
on the
and-
way, Braine.
And you start like continuing on, and as you continue like running down the halls and moving at a brisk pace, you notice more corpses that start lining the walls here. And the further and further down you get, the more the attire starts to change, like very subtly.
Oh.
What? Wait.
Scholar test if you've got it.
Oh, I can do that. I'm supposed to.
I
be
also
able to.
want to do that.
I don't really got
Yeah.
it, but I could like take a wild guess.
I really believe in myself this time. I believe
Oh,
in the
for
heart of the
fuck's sake.
cards.
Lorn does
Three
not
to
know
com-
much
okay,
about
it's
the
not
universe, and he only gets
No.
2.
3 to complicate.
Zedek, you're the one who noticed there's no real chance to complicate on this. But Zedek, you would know. This is like looking at basically like the Adeptus Administratum over the millennia.
Wow.
Like there are generations of people, up to and including like maybe a few centuries ago, worth of imperial dignitaries here.
So,
Wow.
based on what I'm seeing, it seems like what's the word I'm looking for? Every incremental advancement the Administratum has had, every element of their attire, it seems like each successive advancement has made it a little farther than the last. I
That
really
means-
hope we don't add to this pile.
Zedek, take any thoughts of failure and delete them from your hard drive. There is no chance of failure.
Lorn, you, however, feel this tug, this psychic emanation coming from a chamber just ahead of you.
The bone's right, boys. Something's down there.
Yet another challenger. Let us steel ourselves.
Hey, of course, old man walking up to the door. I assume we all getting like left and right side of the door and prepare to get in.
I'm gonna have the plasma gun out this time. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna want that back later. But yeah.
Lorn, you managed to activate the door and kind of peek around, and what you see is a man-sized glass cylinder that's filled with this smoky blue, green, red, purple mist that sort of congeals and shifts around. The walls here are entirely covered in soundproofed material, but also these large speaker units at regular intervals.
I see.
What is inside of that container?
Mm-hmm.
Zedek, you take point.
You're the one with the power sword. Pop it open.
Against my better judgment, I will use my power sword on the container and brace myself with my pistol in the other hand in case something comes out.
So you're just like gonna walk up with your power sword and like just crack the glass?
Is this really what you want me to do? Do you want me to...
No. We need to understand what's inside of it. Are there any nearby servitors or like panels or anything we can use to get more information?
There is, as you look, you can see there's a door at the opposite side, and beside that door, coming out of the wall, is another one of those like servitor torsos that's built into the wall.
I'm not singing again.
I will. Attention, servitor! You must service us. Tell us the purpose of the room.
And you hear a voice from behind you. Oh no, that one doesn't speak anymore. He doesn't sing either.
I turn and I face this new aggressor.
It's just the churning mist in the cylinder.
Hey,
Who are you?
Oh,
Yes, Reeb.
sorry. This feels like something that I might know. Is this some kind of medical device?
You can give me a Medicaid test for sure.
Oh, good. I roll Medicaid on the giant mechanical tube.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a glory at a 7.
Like you would know that you often like medical places utilize this kind of technology to store useful gases like analgesic mists and so forth. It looks to be the same principle, though there's like various different arcane technological bits and pieces around it that you can't quite decipher.
I tried to do a psychic mastery test.
Yeah, please do.
To see if I can discern if something is a fuckery with it.
Sure.
I want to get a 5 for Lorn.
There is some kind of entity of the immaterium that is inside this. You feel some presence, like that of being in the warp inside this cylinder.
That thing's
Pie,
got warp fuckery, boys.
Yeah, and so as Pie, as you ask what it is, that's what Lorn shouts. It's warp fuckery.
Who are you?
Oh, well then, I guess I can drop the accent a bit. Hi there.
All right,
Sup?
go back to the other voice.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
No, you know what I am, so I guess it doesn't make sense. I can't do my usual, oh, tremble before me, mortal.
Wait, you're a demon?
I prefer creature of the warp, but I suppose demon by your limited mind space is fine.
Beg
Okay.
your pardon.
Well, this seems like it's going to be promising. What do you want, foul warp creature?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I want? You were the one who asked a question and I answered it.
You did all of this, presumably.
Did what? This place? No. They put me in this bottle and then tested on me here.
What
Kept
were they
shooting
testing
sounds at me.
then? What were
They
they
made
testing?
me listen to things or made me talk and then see. I don't know what my voice did. I don't know.
Hmm.
I've been here for like 10,000 years.
Are you some kind of idiot?
No, I'm Sean.
Oh,
Fuck off,
the
Sean.
it's okay. I can put you out your misery. Put my hand up to it, and you just start seeing like an Iron Man ring, kind of, and doing boo, like start running the molten beam. Like, I can just do it right now.
Wait,
I mean,
Lord, don't let him out.
Oh
It
please!
has-
Oh please! Let me out of here!
It
I've been
has
here for
information.
10,000 years,
Do
and
not-
all I want is to be let out of
I'm
here.
not letting him
You know how
out. I'm
boring-
destroying you.
That's fine. I'll go back in the warp. That's cool. That it's way better than this place. Do you know how annoying this place is? Sometimes there's this thing that walks around, and all I hear for like 20 years straight is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's the most annoying damn thing.
Oh, yeah,
Chasing us! Oh my god!
That's the sentinel they put here. I guess the people haven't been back yet.
Who is they?
The people like you, they had darker red, but they were like you. They ran this place.
Describe them to us in exact detail and cooperate with everything we ask, and we might let you out.
Well, they were like
we
you.
should not let the demon out of containment.
I am a warp entity, sir. Demon is a slur to me.
I don't care. I value my soul.
No, listen. I have
What's your
decided. I have decided that we are pro demon. We are demon likers.
My
We're good
hand
for-
is like turning to the right, like a turret straight to Braine.
I'm aiming my arc pistol
We're
towards
good.
Braine.
And I just want everyone to know that we're good. And if you like, inside of his hands are like inside of his sleeves, and they're pointed out to,
See, there it is. There it is. Oh, great.
They're pointed out to Lorn and Reeb, or no, sorry, Lorn and Zedek, in like hidden in his sleeves, and they both have their fingers crossed.
we are such big fans. So we're definitely not going to betray you if you help us.
Okay. Okay. Right. All right. What do you want? I just want out of here.
Stop just a moment, damn you. What are we making? Please. Reeb's kind of had enough at this point. He's been sitting behind while everyone's like, oh, we're going to talk to the demon. No, we'll break the demon out so it can destroy us. I'm just going to take my fucking inquisitorial symbol. I'm going to slap it onto the edge of the tank. Just so it
What's
can-
that? What's that?
This doesn't look familiar to you?
I have been here for 10,000 years. Is that something new?
I need to ask, does the term Imperium of Man mean anything to you?
Oh, yeah, that's Goldie Boy's thing, right?
Goldie, whom?
Goldie Boy, he was taking over everything.
Ah, he must be talking about our blessed.
Goldie Boy grabbed me and put me here.
Oh,
Gave me to
God.
the red-robed people.
The demons are as stupid as the denizens.
Oh my god.
Stop it! Look, what is your crime that got you placed into this very large air tank?
Why do you people always assume it's a crime with my people? I was just floating in the warp, having a grand old time, when one of your Goldie ships came by with a net, picked me up, and then the next thing I knew I was in this tank here, and they were doing tests on me.
A grand
Got
old
him.
what?
I don't know. They've just been wanting to hear my voice, to put it through speakers, to have me listen to speakers. It's really annoying.
I'm sorry, aren't you a lot supposed to be like insane tempters? This is the most unhelpful, least tempting creature I've ever met.
Do you understand the warp? Do you not understand the warp? The warp is infinity. Everything can be there. Like my name. A lot of people judge me for my name. Ooh, Sean the Warp Entity. Ooh, but you're not like Kadbanda or Korvax Otherblight. No, I'm just Sean, and I'm a very, very decent warp entity.
It's not infinity. It doesn't have everything. I'm not there, idiot.
Well, then you
He's got a point.
know
You know.
better.
Moron. All right, so I think we could. I think we can safely go, Sean. Let's continue on our
Wait,
way.
everyone. I have a question. Not you, entity. Do we care? Can we just keep going?
Yes! Give me
All right,
that.
let's go.
Leave it there.
All right, let's go.
Yeah,
I turn around and start
That's
leaving.
this ship.
I can tell you how to stop it.
How?
I mean,
We'll
it's already
figure it
stopped
out.
by
We'll
debris.
figure it out. I'll just start pushing everybody out through the doorway.
It's getting closer. You can hear it getting closer.
Reeb's
guys-
taking a stand. No,
You-
Reeb's taking a stand.
Yeah, you guys know I wasn't. I don't actually like demons. I'm pretty low on the hierarchy of things that I like.
All right, fine. You guys, I deal with warp stuff, whatever. How do we get rid of it?
I was just gonna hit it.
You've got to get it in here.
Okay.
Then you just activate with the cogitator there. You might need to do some manual stuff. You turn on the sound dampeners in here, and it can't use any of its sound stuff.
Okay.
Ah,
Then you should be good. They kept doing it to me. They were like, "Oh, you don't need sound, Sean. We don't want to hear your voice, Sean." And then nothing happened. And then that
right.
thing couldn't do anything in here.
Braine, check to make sure what that thing says is true. Go check the cogitator. Make sure it doesn't
I'm gonna
open
look
his
at the
door or something.
cogitators. Yeah.
Yeah, give me a tech check.
Yeah, this is important. I'm gonna spend 2 glory on it.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Ooh.
So
As we
let's
wait,
see.
there we go.
4.
You can tell that, yeah, like it looks like there's some activation runes that you can use that would essentially turn this place into a big, like, ambient noise chamber. Like there would just be such background noise that any actual sound would be completely stopped. But it means you couldn't talk, for example, during that. But you sure could stop all of the sound-based things that the golem was doing.
okay.
They
I
good?
think in lieu
Good.
of another option, that might be true.
See, I'm a totally nice person. I just want to go back to the warp and not be in a tube anymore.
Are we not? Why are we listening to a demon? I'm with Reeb on this one.
Okay.
Wait.
Look.
What if we were to get this creature into a void shield?
We are not
I
bringing
grab
the demon onto the
Braine
ship.
and I turn him and I look at him dead in his fucking flashlight headlight eyes. And I go, "We're using this method. You checked it. You confirmed it worked. We're going to use this thing, and I'm going to molten beam that thing so fucking hard its head explodes. Do you understand me?"
Okay.
I press turn off sound button.
Oh, yeah. So as you do, like, the speakers begin emitting this vibrating sound throughout the area, and suddenly none of you can talk anymore. So none of you can talk to each other. And with this,
I stand in
Vox
position
golem
right in the
starts
middle.
walking towards you. Thump,
thump.
Once I
Thump.
think it's in range, hands up and molten beam, full power. I want, in fact, so much power. I want to do it unbound.
Okay, 3. So sorry, the 2 extra dice. Okay.
Yep. So
All right.
just to make sure I do this right, because we haven't done this in a while, I think it's bonus wrath dice, correct?
It is. You'll roll the check and then roll 2 extra d6s afterwards, and if either of them is a 1, you'll perils.
Cool.
But it's 2 extra dice towards you. So yeah, it's coming towards, and yeah, please give me that check. What are the rest of you doing as Lorn has like set up? None of you can talk because the sound dampening has gone on. Reeb, what are you doing? Reeb?
The sound dampening has gone off.
About to say, like, Reeb's just gonna like take cover, because if we're just gonna like let all the big heavy hitters do shit, you know.
Okay.
Oh,
So
wait, no,
like you. Okay.
I
You have a plasma pistol.
Right, I forgot to fucking shoot that leer. Ballistics check.
Okay. Cool. So you're getting ready. You're gonna hit it as it comes in. Captain Zedek, what are you doing?
I'm going to ready my arc pistol.
Okay. You can give me a ballistic skill check as well.
Yep.
I have
Excellent. Pie Braine, what are you doing? Having turned off the sound dampening, what are you doing?
every fiber of my being wants me to charge at this thing with my sword and carve it for Lemuria. But I don't trust this fucking demon. So I am not moving. I have my hand on the sound dampener system. The moment there is any unusual activity from the fucking case, I would rather we get killed by this thing than that.
Okay. And Lorn, will you please give me
Roll my check.
your molten beam?
Cool. We're gonna go. Here it comes. There it is.
Oh, roll me 2 extra d6 because this matters.
Oh no!
Roll me 2 extra d6.
Thank you
Okay.
guys for showing up to the last episode of WarHams.
Oh no!
It's been real great
It's
show so far.
Okay. Let's see here. I believe how this works is sorry. So you would get a 65. Roll me 2 extra d6 for your the extra 2 dice. You still have to roll those 2 other wrath dice. So you got 65.
right
and what are the
there.
other?
They're at the end.
No.
there.
Because there's the perils result, but then there's 2 extra dice that you have to do.
Yeah, those are right there.
Oh,
That's what's added
okay.
into it,
Yes. Then you have to roll the perils result, which is another 2d6.
which I just rolled.
No. There is
Okay,
2d6 extra dice.
let me-
You've got them.
yeah,
I see.
they're
You've
in
actually
there.
got them in the thing. Okay. Sorry, no one else actually does that properly.
Okay, so actually, let's.
I see it. Yeah.
So here's that thing.
You've got it
So
right.
it's
You've got it
all
right.
of
I
that,
see it.
and the one of the extra die was the normal success, and the other one was the 1.
Sorry, normally people don't add that in correctly.
Yeah,
So
I got
just
it
have them
right.
roll the
Don't
extra
worry.
dice. Yes. Okay. I see. All right. Oh,
So it's
God.
65, which is why I was oh no, because that's on the high end.
Yeah. Yes.
I am horrified. Well, guys.
I wish I had wrath die so I could like increase the rest of the dice.
Thanks for all the Lorn fan art, gang.
Thank you for Captain Zedek love. I love all
Surging warp energies. The air begins to shimmer and distort. All creatures suffer 1d6 shock. I gain 1 rune. And all
Okay.
wrath dice rolled as part of a psychic mastery test that don't result in a 1 or 6 must be re-rolled. So all of you gain 1d6 shock. So I'm just going to roll it once for all of you because I am.
Yeah, we
like
can just to make it easier for you. We can roll it so it's categorized on the thing.
Yeah,
So we
fair enough.
Yeah, so
I'll
we'll
roll it
roll
for
our
the
own
thing.
thing. So I take
Yeah.
5, which I have a lot of shock, so I'm okay.
Cool. And yeah, the rest.
Awesome.
Ooh, Captain Zedek is like you see these like arcing energy going by. Yeah, Pi, you see it as well. The air is shimmering, multicolored as everything sort of distorts and circles around Lorn's hand as reality buckles and turns.
Actually,
Can you roll the damage for that blast? And yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
and I
Do
would
it.
like to input as much glory die as possible into this thing, if it's okay with the party.
Absolutely.
Go for it. Excuse me.
Everyone good? Okay, so we're going to do all 4. So thank you, chat, for assisting. And then...
Yeah.
And I want to spend the wrath that chat also gave me to reroll as much of that damage as possible.
Absolutely.
And we will get just an additional more. So that is 24 damage.
Whoa.
That is...
Yeah, that should do it.
Also, I forgot, I'm also going to be heightening up a thing as well. To where, heightening one more. So I just need to roll like one more D6.
Oh, yeah, please.
Yeah, so this is additional one. That will be nothing.
Yep.
So it's that. So it's struck by that. And it's also on fire.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Reeb, you'd hit. You didn't get any. Chris, can you roll me 1d6, please, for your plasma gun that you fired?
Here we go. It's a
So it's an extra damage. So 16 from your shot that also adds into it. And then Captain Zedek, I believe you fired your arc pistol, which complicated. That did complicate, didn't it? But you still. Oh no, you missed too. So get wrecked.
Great.
Roll me 2d6, please.
Okay. 34.
34. Oh, perfect. You drop your weapon as like Reeb lines up this perfect shot and hits at the exact point that the molten beam strikes. You manage to drop your weapon. And then your weapon discharges. I'm going to spend a rune point here.
Oh, dear.
And like all of you are lined up and Braine is back, but Zedek, for some reason, the shock of seeing everything, the world around you ripple as this psychic backwash goes, causes you to flinch and you drop your arc pistol and the arc pistol discharges.
What
It
direction
discharges
does it discharge?
towards the cylinder.
All right, can I, since I didn't make an attack and I was waiting for something to happen, can I do something?
What would you like to do?
I want to jump in front of the discharge.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. I will allow you to make a, in this case, I'll say initiative test.
Braine.
The difficulty will be 4.
All right, my initiative. Oh, God. And we don't have any resources.
You don't have any, and you've burned all your wrath, so...
Oh, God.
Unless chat
Come on,
conveniently gives you
sixes.
one in the next like 10 seconds or so.
Yeah,
Like,
holy shit. All
Can I
right.
burn a wrath to reroll to hit?
Yeah, but it wouldn't change the complication.
yeah.
Oh, damn. All right.
We don't have any lookouts, sir.
I
Yeah.
don't have any mooks.
Damn it.
Damn. Rest in peace, Mashed Potato Brigade. Okay, let's go.
Chat.
Yep, you're given a wrath. You're just given a wrath. So,
Oh,
I was given a wrath? Oh, my
Yep.
God.
yeah, it's a reroll. Oh, God, it's 1 dice. Can you do it? Can you do it?
yeah!
Oh, there you go.
Captain Zedek, can you roll damage for your arc pistol, please?
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Okay, so 14 with AP -1 onto you, Pi.
Okay, so let me think real quick. How much damage am I taking in? I've taken actually a bit of damage thus far. So I've got 7 wounds right now. I'm resilience 9, -1. So that is going to be
6. You
6.
take 6.
I am at 1 wound.
Excellent. As it
Indescribably
hits
based.
you dead in the chest, and you spin around, preventing it from hitting the glass case. And as this is all happening, the molten beam is seared into the chest of this advancing Vox Golem, and then this molten sun goes flying into it, reaching into the chest cavity that has been exposed, causing it to explode into dozens of pieces, scattering across the room, and then it collapses dead. And
I
none of
spin
you
my
can hear
staff
because
around.
there's still the voice dampening going on.
I spin my staff around because I pointed the staff and went out from the staff, and I imagine there's some smoke and go boom. Just an actual boom sound happens. And then I plant it down, turn around, announce my triumph, and realize nothing's happening. And I look down at Braine, and I vocally try to say, and it's just...
So with like this fucking like smoking like special beam cannon hole in his chest, Pi is just going to, like, leaking oil everywhere, just go to the terminal, press the turn sound on button, and just say, "For Lemioria!"
Well, I guess you did pretty good. I mean, I was hoping that blast would hit the cylinder and let me go back to the warp, but I mean, you did pretty good there. You killed it, and at least that way I won't have to listen to its music anymore. So thanks for that.
You're welcome. All right, see you later. I start leaving.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, we have to do some things.
As you turn, like you turn towards the door, Lorn, and it opens up.
Actually,
into
wait.
a
We're
large
gonna hold.
chamber.
We're gonna hold.
Okay.
Before all that,
Okay.
I want to pick up Braine. All right, because we have a connection. I understand his desire, so I bring him up. Like, are you good? You good? And we dust him off. Like, okay, I have a camera. Pose on it. Make sure the symbol's shown. Make the symbol shown. Like Captain Morgan it, and like just like show how triumphant you are. And I start taking pictures, and I'm like, okay, does this one look good? This one look good? You look really heroic.
This is Zedek pose 3. I think it's a good one.
Zedek, is this the right pose?
Yes, it's the right pose. I kind of go over to
that
Braine
one down.
and
Do
get
that.
under him.
Do that one. It's page 40 on Zedek.
Okay, 40.
I want to go over to Braine while it's happening. Just get his arm over my shoulder. Just like hoist him up and just like give a point at him. Like this motherfucker right here is the bravest among my lot. I love him right now.
I bring Reeb over. I encourage Reeb. Hey, come on, let's all get a group picture. I like psychic float the camera and stuff so it's in position.
Yeah.
And I pose the robot like we hunted a deer, and we make sure that a Gaia or
What
whatever is
psychic
shown.
power do you have for that?
It's called the telekinetic hand thing or whatever. That's literally
Can you give me a psychic mastery
go
test?
fuck yourself. All right, psychic grip. I'm fine. So
He's fine. Yeah.
Want me
Can
to
you roll me 2
complicate?
extra dice?
No. God damn it. All right, fine. I'm good.
Okay, you're good.
So wait, I'm floating it there because I am unbound, so it's 2 wrath die for anything else that I do now. So it's like, so we're holding it up. It's like we hunted a deer. We're showing Forgewood Gaia, and we're like, yeah. And I take the picture with the psychics.
Yeah.
I was so close too. I guess I'm gonna have to keep waiting here.
I guess you are. I can't believe I have a picture with the author of Zedek. Now, if you'll excuse me.
I'm just going to act now, and as Pi is trying to get up to do whatever he's doing, I'm gonna pull back on his the nape of his hood for a moment, and I'm going to wheel him around and be like, "You still have a gaping hole in your chest," and I take out a drill.
I appreciate your Medicaid tools for him are different.
Just hold on a second.
That's a lot of damage.
I'm going to take my power sword, and I'm going to we got to pick capture of this, but I want to get the physical part. I want the physical part of this creature that shows this was made in Graia. I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to take it with me.
Sure.
Graia has been performing potential abominable intelligence experiments here, and have captured a demon, a warp entity, and put
Thank you.
into this glass thing. There must be evidence and recourse against the Forge World, and a Mechanicus investigation. I must inform Lemuria and Mechanicus delegations in the Crusade.
How can you inform Lemuria? Isn't it gone?
It's not gone. Do you think Lemuria's... I just don't live there anymore.
Yes, Pi. Yes, this is all wonderful, and now hold still.
Okay.
Oh, complicated.
Oh,
Thank
oh
God.
no.
Is it just like you fix him up, but his like symbol is upside down? Or
You
he actually,
drill
or,
so hard,
Wait.
you burst open.
wait, I have a suggestion. Like,
Okay.
Ron, are we going to do a Patreon one real quick?
I like. There's one that could work into this, which is just
Try, do
titled,
that one. Do that
"What was that noise?"
one. Try it.
Which-
Go do that one.
It somehow triggers a sound, and this causes panic in a character due to the danger, and possibly has that character, perform some kind of domino effect. So,
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yes.
would you I would say maybe whatever sound you hear causes you to freak out a bit more, Braine, and want to get out of this particular room with all due haste.
Yeah, we need to get out of here. I can't get the sound of the demon inside of my body. No, this is a good thing. We gotta go.
And I'm just gonna kind of like pick Reeb up under his arms, like while he's performing surgery, and just run forward.
Yeah, you quickly run towards the doors that lead out, and they lead to a new chamber that looks much cleaner and much more active than the previous chambers you've been in. Rows of cogitator units and screens that dance with light as you enter into this this chamber that has like an overlook onto the lunar surface through a view glass. Something that you note that's pretty impressive as you come in here, though probably not you, Pi. You're more focused on the cogitator units everywhere. But Reeb, you see excellent. You see a large stasis tube in the corner of the room, very similar to the one that you saw on Fartham 4 in the Divine Lord of Sciences chambers, though this is maybe 3 or 4 times the size, and it's pushed up like a casket up against the wall with crude cabling like bolted into the systems here, like this was just some kind of patch job.
No more rattlings. Come on now.
Oh,
They
I'm
couldn't possibly have ratlings this far away from their home.
If it's a giant rattling.
Oh no.
just real quick.
No.
Point of order. Did I gain any wounds back from that Medicaid check?
I got a 6. So GM, is that
So let me pull up Medicaid here, and so it's 3 is the check. Did you get any glories on that? You did. You can shift 1, so you can restore 2 wounds to him.
unnatural Medicaid, reducing the difficulty.
Oh, the DN, but you've only got 1 glory, so you can only get 2. So you get 2 back.
Okay,
that works.
So I'm up at 3 wounds.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
That'll.
Yeah, you see.
absolutely check out the tube.
Okay. Yeah, Reeb, you go up to it. You just see this like cloying blue analgesic mist and frost along the interior of it, blocking your view inside.
Reeb's gonna do his characteristic, take a knuckle of his finger and like lightly knock against it.
Okay. It goes like conk, conk, conk. As you're doing that, Captain Zedek and Lorn, what do you do as you see all of this? Starting with Captain Zedek.
I'm gonna look around the room for any sort of command manifest or any active terminals.
Yeah, you see an active terminal.
I would like to approach it and see if I can access its data.
Sure. You want to give me a tech chest for that?
I would be happy to, and I would happy to not complicate on this one.
I would look forward to seeing a not complication, but we'll see.
Well, it's still a fail, so it's well.
Yeah, you go up, and these terminals are so strange. Like they're so sleek and filled with lovely like user interfaces and things you're not used to that are scary, and you don't know how to do anything without like a scary green command line.
Zedek hate automation. He hate ergonomic. I don't know how to do this.
Lorn, what are you doing?
I'm chilling, man. I'm just having them figure
Just
that
like
out.
looking around, walking in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
cool,
straight
cool,
up
cool.
chilling.
Pi, what are you doing?
All right, seeing my good friend Zedek having a crisis, I will approach him.
Crisis.
Are you having a problem with the devices? I may help you.
Yes, I don't like how they look, and they are too new for my old blood to deal with.
Actually, looking at these, do these look new or do they look old?
They look impossibly old.
So why would they be new?
These aren't new. These are ancient tech. And we must tread carefully. I am not the most expert tech priest in the universe, but I can still attempt to gain knowledge on what is going on. And I'm going to try to do just that.
Okay, give me a tech check.
Boys.
Wow.
Oh, 10 successes.
10.
Oh my god. Braine
You can actually even shift 2 of them to access this super quickly. And what you find is that this is a Mechanicum research outpost. And this Mechanicum research outpost did a lot of testing on sound theory and like traveling of sound over vast distances, and like the use of some like psychic elements in the transmission of sound, and various things relating to just sound quality and testing. You can see that along with that, there have been regular transmissions between this place and a listening post on the surface for about the past 10,000 years, during which there were routine requests from the listening post on the surface regarding data that would tap into the station's hololithic cameras and displays. So someone from the surface of Scargeris Prime was requesting the video feeds from this place regularly over the past 10,000 years. And you can even see some of the names associated with the data requests.
All right. Do we have any recordings of those data quests, or
Yeah, you start going through, and what they all are, like the first time when you activate is from just like a couple thousand years ago, and it's this like round, paunchy man in a white getup that looks very similar to those on Hives Arcanon, and has this like somehow familiar appearance, and he's surrounded by all these other nobles in white, and they all appear to be just looking and pointing and laughing as though they're watching the vid feeds coming in from this place. And like one of the nobles in the back sort of pats the man in the front on the shoulder. Oh, well, you put on a good show, Rabania. Look at those Imperium folks run. And it's all videos of what appear to be like white and gold-robed nobles. And then suddenly, like in some of them, the robes aren't white and gold. They're sea green. And they all seem to be pointing and laughing. And you see the vid feeds that they're watching in time with the recordings of them watching, which is these people have been watching various groups of Administratum tithe collectors encounter that golem.
These motherfuckers. And I'm immediately I'm just violently, I'm like vibrating, just you just see the sparks going everywhere. And Lorn's just getting ready to molten beam another thing.
As that happens, Reeb, you turn to hear this as the stasis unit begins to uncouple and open.
Quickly downloading those logs real quick.
Absolutely.
Personal cogitators.
Download everything, Braine. Everything, video, all of it.
And this mist begins to like seep out.
Yeah. Staff is pointed.
And then you hear this ka-thunk as something hits the floor, and then this awkward ka-thunk, and the mist is sort of covering half of the room. Reeb, it's coming towards you. Do you kind of like...
I thought I was standing next to the tank.
You are. So do you step back away from the mist, or are you...
I'm going to stand and greet this thing. Against my better judgment, I'm going to do that.
All right. What stands before you is something that can barely be called human. It towers above you, easily easily 3, 4, maybe even more feet higher than you. It's hard to tell. You get a sense of vertigo staring at this thing. It wears slate gray armor. It's humanoid. One of its legs appears to be burned entirely off, and it's come out of this stasis unit hopping on one leg, and in its other hand it holds this sword, and it looks out at all of you with this grim determination on its scarred face, and in a gothic tone it looks at all of you. Who are you?
Crazy question.
Yes.
If I were to roll a Medicaid,
Mhm.
just to possibly get some friendly points with this no doubt very pleasant gentleman we have here before us, could I possibly roll a Medicaid to assist him?
You could, but he's giving off such an aura of threat, you don't think getting near him or making any sudden movements in his direction is a good idea.
All right, I will. I don't. Inquisitor Rosette's no good here.
Who, I say again, and he raises, even though he's standing on one leg, like sort of back leaned up against the wall, he raises his sword towards you.
I am Braine of Fort Worth, Lemuria, and we have freed you from a stasis that we do not understand.
Has the Imperium sent reinforcements?
You are from the ancient war against the War Master.
You know that Skargarus Prime has turned. I must warn the Sigillite immediately. No, not the Sigillite. No, I must warn my liege lord Sanguinius.
Oh, bad news about that. little tidbit. That he's at the farm.
I know. I must warn the Emperor. He was the one who had the Sigillite dispatch me here personally. I must warn them.
Can I do a persuade to try and get his attention for a moment?
Absolutely, you can.
So I shall roll my persuade. Marine, please hold for a moment. Oh, a 1 and a complication. Spectacular.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
You might wanna fucking spend a wrath.
Yeah, I'll wrath it. And what am I? Oh no, I had 2, so now I have 1 again. 4.
All right. So, what's a good complication here? Gosh, like, you are just stumbling over your words. You are caught in what is known, and this medical term is like transhuman dread. Seeing this thing, it is hard, and your complication is you seem to get his attention and like calm him a bit, but like the way you deliver the line isn't how you intended. Like you say something just completely like unintended and perhaps even a bit stupid sounding to him. So what do you say?
Marine, please hold in this exact spot, not moving for 1 moment.
The moment has passed.
Now he raises his sword, pointing it menacingly while still balancing on one leg.
Now, you will tell me what has happened while I've been in stasis.
And on that, we're going to end for this week's session.
Oh, you asshole!
It's 7:08. It's fine.
Oh, man.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, everyone. That's been very exciting. Thank you, Thirsty, for another dubstep session. And thank you to all the players who have been here. Remember, after our exit and everything else, you probably want to stay on because we will announce the tribes of the deck collector names on this. If you're listening on the podcast version, it'll be announced on our social medias and stuff and all that bits. And also, as an update, this is episode 6, so all this now starts going behind the gated system. But if you don't contribute at all or whatever, that's fine. This is intentional. These episodes will be coming out for free basically 2 weeks after they've aired, which is 2 weeks from now or so. So just if you can't afford anything because of COVID and all this other unfortunate life stuff, don't worry. You get to see it no matter what. So with that, let's go around and say who was who. One, the sword master who has been destroying the world. Oh, basically, melee Skitari has been played by...
I am Speaker D. You can find me on Twitter at SuperSnakeKick. You can find my YouTube, which is also Speaker D. And you can say something nice to somebody you love.
And the one, our Medicaid check extraordinaire Inquisitor Acolyte, Reeb Van Horn, has been played by...
Not really extraordinaire right now, but I am Earndil, and I played Reeb Van Horn. You can join me at Earndilio on Twitter, and you can help me destroy Speaker D.
That's right.
And the captain of the debt collector, our resident rogue trader, Captain Zedek, has been played by...
HulkyKrow. You can find me at HulkyKrow on Twitter, occasionally on Discord under the same handle, gibberish numbers after that, and comfort me in my my failure to perform my duties admirably today.
And I have been your host, ZoranTheBear. I've been playing Lorn, and the one illustrious being who keeps trying to get warp into these out of tubes is...
Sean is a nice individual warp entity.
No, he's not.
No, hi. Thurston here on Call GM. One day I will learn that putting an unbeatable foe in front of an unbeatable sword-wielding Skitari is not a good idea. But, you know, I look forward to the commentary on this one. This has been a great episode. I think the end of this episode maybe is starting up some extra lore stuff that people might be interested in, and I can't wait to keep this story going. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff to come. Yay!
Yeah, I mean, with that, I'd like to thank everybody on Patreon who has also helped us beat several goals. By the way, you guys have done absolutely awesome helping us get up there. So thank you all, everyone who has supported us on Patreon. If you always want to support us, it's patreon.com/WarHams, where you will now be able to get to see these episodes as soon as we're basically done with them. And if you're subscribing to the Twitch and don't want to do anything Patreon, basically as soon as this gets converted over, only subscribers from episode 6 on out will be able to see these, the VODs once we're done streaming, once we're done here. So thank you all very much. And so, you know, as a quick reminder, no more are the VODs coming up on Alpha's channel. They're coming up on my channel, which is ZoranTheBear, or youtube.com/ZoranTheBear. And if you want to be part of the Tribes of the Debt Collector stuff, we're about to pick the names here in a moment once we go to our end screen here. But yeah, you can actually join the Discord at discord.gg/ZoranTheBear. You can always find the information down, the Twitch information down below. Podcast people, best of luck is always twitch.tv/ZoranTheBear, where we stream this every other Saturday at 1 p.m. PDT. So if you guys are always lost of what the schedule is, on the Discord we put in the schedule in our Twitter which is at Warham Show, where we put all the information, things that's going on, etc. there. Thank you all for watching. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you, Thirsty, for game mastering. It's been an absolute blast. So now let us go forth and end it. Thank you all for watching. We will catch you next time. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Say farewell.
Bye. Lemuria is not dead, by the way.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.